Hi everyone. It's me again. You fed up with me or what? Anyway, good evening, whoever's watching in, and it's Daryl Merry there. Look. Thanks, Daryl. Like and share, everyone. Get Frankie his rhythms. Thanks a lot, Daryl. Thank you. Oh, what do you like? Cheers, fella. I thought you were coming on tonight, Daryl. What happened? Ian McHale. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's just say evening to me, does he? All right, Daryl. Anyway. So what? Listen, I was told about Everton and the firm that are doing their ground is going into liquidation. That's shocking, that isn't it? Really, like us, become a laughing stock again. It's absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Anyway, Ian McHale, even a Frank, even an Ian. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jason never sent me. He must have done. He must have done. This link's gone out. I think. Charlie was even a Frank, even a Charlie. Lynn Ellis, even a Frank. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, a link's been sent out to Jamie Phillips as well. I don't know where Lee is. Don't know where JK is. Don't know where anyone is. Don't know where George Scott is either. I can't help you. I really can't help you, Daryl, because Jason's not here. Unfortunately, he's working hard. I don't know. He said, "Will you be able to start it?" But anyway, the links have gone out. The Anfield Raw. Good evening, Frankie boy. Thank you. Thank you, Anfield Raw. That's great. That. So listen, boys. Everton, what do you think? They've had points deducted off them. They might have more points deducted off them. The firm that's building the grounds is going into liquidation. They used to laugh at us. I wonder if they'll be laughing now. They'll know what we went through. You know what we went through. Well, as Daryl says, happy to be a spectator, Frankie. All right, Daryl. Thank you. But I don't know where the other two are. I'm getting fed up with this. You know what I mean? You invite them. They say, yeah. I was on a podcast today. A fella named, what was his name? Forget his name. And he sent me a message. And he said, listen, Frank, can I talk to you? I said, yeah, sure. He said, are you free about 2:30? I said, yeah. I thought it was like anyone, want to use. And it was mad. I was on got through. I was on there. I was on this podcast talking about. I really did this, JK. There.
You right there, bro? How you doing?
All right, JK. How are you?
I'm all good, bro. I'm all good.
I was
Hope
on
the chat's
that
going good.
Fozzie. I was on there. Oh, look at him. He's just come on. He's a lovely fella. I was on a lad, Fozzie. He's got my
Yeah,
number
Fozzie.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's a top guy, Fozzie. He's old school, bro. He's a proper Liverpool fan.
Oh, I know. We had a great chat.
Mm-hmm.
We really had a great chat. Can you get Jamie Phillips on, because Jason said Jamie's coming on tonight. Just want to
I haven't
check.
got a link to him, bro.
Say that.
I haven't got a link to him.
No, it's okay then. It's okay. What did you think of that news about? I know it. I don't like talking about other clubs. I just like talking about Liverpool. So what did you think about that news about Everton and their particular firm that's doing the ground, that's going into liquidation, just like us?
Oh, okay. Is that today? That must have been today then, yeah?
Yeah, I was looking at a drone fella, and he's an Evertonian actually, but he's been doing Liverpool since it began, the building
Yeah, I
of
know.
the.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said he said I'm going down to Everton now. If you want to look at their stadium, and but the firm's going into liquidation.
Crazy.
It says, isn't it? It's just mad.
That's
It's
mad.
just mad.
They nearly finished it as well.
Sorry?
They've nearly finished it as well. It's like majority of the work is sort of done on the stadium, because I've seen a few videos, Mr. Drone, and it looks pretty nice on the water and everything. It's a bit strange though. A company that's going to sort of get 80% of the work done, and then all of a sudden comes out with that news. That's a bit strange.
It is strange, isn't it? The city. I'm talking about the city now. The outside of the city. I'll be looking at. Look at these. They can't even get that.
Yeah. It happened when Liverpool didn't finish their stand. Other fans were taking the rip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Really? Yeah. I know that. Like they were taking the rip, after Sunday.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, that's
out of control.
Well, I'm for your says, Frank, you need them to be your tech gurus. Yeah, I need well, he's my tech guru there, JK. He had to got the link for
Such a good guru, I can't send the link.
Exactly. I needed them. I was fuming. There he is. There's the man. Can't get over this. Yeah, got the man. I was. Look at that. Wait for him to drink.
I must be a guru then.
There he is. He's just been drinking his vodka there. He's got look. I can see him. He's waiting. Jamie. I'm gonna get him in now. And there's the man.
Oh man.
Jamie. I was just saying there. Can you get Jamie on? He said, I can't get him on. I haven't got his link. There you go. That'll do me. How are you there, Jamie? Sorry?
I can add him on X.
Yeah.
Twitter. I'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope you are, Bran.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
I got onto you last night, but it was too late. I couldn't comment because you were just finishing, and that was the last pod you did. So, what did you think? What did you think about the overall situation about Sunday? And now, we've getting our players back after this break, hopefully, and Jota back as well after the Brighton game. So, what's your overall situation, Jamie, about last Thursday picking all these players and playing them again on Sunday against our biggest rivals?
Yeah, I think when I look back on what's happened between Thursday and Sunday, I just feel like it was just a bit of mismanagement. It happens. It's not a problem. All the greatest managers mess up. It's not an insult to anybody. Pep Guardiola, like dropping Rodri in a Champions League final, he's just messing up. It doesn't mean he's terrible at his job. It just happens. I understand what Klopp was saying, though. He's trying to get players' rhythm. I get it. Like players that have been away, or been out of the team for a while. He wants to give them rhythm. I do get that. But then he'd moan the next day that players play too much football, and then he plays the same team again a few days later almost. So it's a bit hypocritical, a little bit, but I get what he's trying to do and trying to say. But when you look at it now in full sight, it just looks it looks like it was a bit of a mistake, because I think on Sunday that is the first time since we've been having these injuries. I think that's the first time we've looked leggy. And it's just not leggy in the in the body. I think it was like the mistakes they were doing. You could see their head weren't in it as well. They weren't thinking how they usually think, because they've been playing on fumes. They've been playing on fumes for the last few weeks, and because of their elite mentality and the elite mentality of Jurgen Klopp, they've been getting over the line. But I think Sunday you could see they sort of just run out, and the international break's probably come at a fantastic time for Liverpool, in my opinion. It really has. And as you say, after the international break, we're getting players back, which is fantastic. I was reading today that Jota is in light training at the moment, so he'd be in full training after international break. Tremendous. He's our best goal scorer, in my opinion. Having Trent back would be great, although I don't know if he should go straight back in at right back, but that's another discussion. And having Alisson back as well, would be great as well. And Kelleher's done amazing. So to have these players coming back at a busy time, the Easter period where we have quite a lot of games, twice a week, I think it's going to benefit Liverpool, because we're getting players back that are going to be fresh. When you look at Liverpool in the past, coming into these times when we're going for these trophies, around April to the end of the season time, Liverpool sort of almost start to run out of steam, and you can see it. You can see it from previous seasons. But now, where Klopp has rotated a lot this season and we're getting injured players back, they're going to be fresh. And I think it will benefit us. I think this international break, for the first time this season, this international break is coming exactly the right time for Liverpool Football Club.
Can I ask you something, Jamie? You mentioned Ali there. Now, if Ali's fit, to me, he's the best goalkeeper in the world, and to a lot of other people as well. Would you have him straight back into the side?
Yeah. He's Alisson Becker, ain't he? He's Alisson Becker. It's unfortunate on Kelleher, but this is what I do. And I think Klopp's got to be careful here. I think with Kelleher, he's got to go. He's got to say to Kelleher, "You're my Europa League goalkeeper. You're my Europa League goalkeeper now. Alisson ain't going to play no Europa League. We're just going to keep Alisson now for the Premier League till the end of the season. And you're going to play in Europa League." So if I look at Europa League teams, there's no reason that Kelleher can't play in that competition for me against them players. So yeah, no. I'd keep Kelleher happy and go, "Look, you're my European goalkeeper this season now, and he's going to be in the Premier League. You got a chance to lead us to glory in the Europa League." And I think he'd be happy with that. He's had a lot of football this season now. I think this is the most Kelleher's ever played. So, and he's been great. I see some people having a go at him for the winner, the Man United winner, saying that he should have saved it. I don't think he should have, because if you go back and watch that shot, Kelleher has actually got himself in the correct position. But because Ahmad sort of scuffs the shot, because he scuffs it, it actually goes into the far corner. So Kelleher's actually got himself set beautifully for where he thinks Ahmad's going to put it, because of the way his body shape is, and then he scuffs it. He can't read that he's going to scuff the shot. So I don't blame him for that goal at all. I think people.
So if it would have been a clean shot, according to you, Jay, he would have saved it.
Yeah, I think he would have got down and saved it. I think it would, if he hit it the way he wanted it would still gone towards the corner, but not where it actually went. So he would have got down and saved it, because he got himself in that position. But unfortunately, it just went in. But I can't blame him for that. Kelleher's been excellent. When you've got the best goalkeeper in the world out injured, and Kelleher's got to come into the team, and he knows he has to perform because the club he's playing for. There's a lot of pressure on the young man, and I thought he's done tremendous. For me, he's not a second choice goalkeeper. He's like Klopp says, he's 1B. He's 1B. No doubt about it.
So So what's your thoughts on, and your thinking on the running now, especially with the lads coming back,
Yeah, if you look at our running for the fixtures are quite nice to us. I mean, we've got Brighton Easter Sunday, then on midweek on the 4th of April, I believe we've got Sheffield United. They're both at home. It's a massive chance to get our goal difference up. Should win both of them games, no excuses. Brighton away from home is terrible, and Liverpool at home are fantastic. So I expect us to win both of them games. Then I believe we've got an away game. Is it West Ham or something like that? And then we got Crystal Palace at home, and then we got Fulham. No, we got Man United. Sorry. So yeah, got Man United.
Yeah.
Man United away, then Crystal Palace at home, and then we're away to West Ham and Fulham, and then we got Wolves, Tottenham, Villa, Tottenham, and Wolves to finish off. Our fixtures, for me, up to the Aston Villa game, the Tottenham game. Sorry, Liverpool should win every single match, every single game. There's no excuses. The away game to West Ham. Depends where West Ham are at the time. If they beat them by Leverkusen, West Ham will look at their league position and think we're going to put everything in Europa League.
Go on, carry on.
But no, I just feel like them fixtures are quite handy. You look at Arsenal. Arsenal got to play Man City. I think they got to play Tottenham and Chelsea as well when we got them easier fixtures. So, and Man United, I believe. So, I still think we win the Premier League. Personally, I think we win the Premier League on 93 points.
You know what? I totally agree with you, because my thoughts after the Man U game, really, I said Klopp was fuming. Klopp was absolutely fuming. And Liverpool, these bunch of players, they look at that and learn a lesson. They will learn a lesson, because there was complacency in that game. There was complacency because we went. Let's be honest, Jamie. I thought we was going to go up and beat them, just win the game, get over the line. That's it. And they must have thought the same, like everybody else. So complacency came into it, and they know that with the final run, we're very strong in the final run, especially in the league. And I think that we will go on this run. I really believe that we'll go on. And I believe that we'll go. And this is not being biased or anything. This is just a point of view by me. I'm going to ask JK as well. We'll go to Manchester United and we will play a totally different game, and we'll beat them. And we'll beat them good, by the way. What do you think?
Yeah, no. Go on, JK.
No, as we quickly say, I think for me, having that Premier League game against them is a motivation enough to get over what happened on Sunday. I can't wait for that game. I think we just sort of tired out in that second half at the end. That last 10 minutes, we haven't really done that all season. But that Premier League game at Old Trafford is a game that hopefully we'll have a few guys back for that. It's in about a month's time from now. We've got 2 weeks international break. And like Jamie was saying about, it's sort of blessing in disguise. We've got it now. Normally, we don't really like international breaks, but this one is like godsend. And hopefully, me personally, I want to see Alisson back in goal. I just feel he's our number one. Kelleher's done a top job, but I just feel that if we can get him back, Curtis as well, who we were missing on Sunday, a Scouser, Curtis or Trent, and also Jota. So, but the fans should just look forward to that game against United after Brighton and Sheffield United. What happened on Sunday happened. It's a cup competition. It wasn't for the league. So they didn't take 3 points off our Premier League mission. So they're celebrating anyway. I don't think they've stopped, actually.
No, they haven't. And the lads are going on there about the horrible chanting.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, you know, there was a lot of shit from both sets of supporters, which is unfortunate. You know, I keep saying it constantly. Tragedy chanting is ridiculous. Why people are singing about death, I have no idea. You know, and this goes for anybody. You know, them Liverpool fans mocking the Munich air disaster. That Man United fan mocking Hillsborough. People singing about. Look, we all understand Liverpool versus Manchester is more than just football. You know, it's two port cities. There's a lot of history between the cities alone, not alone just football. You know, as Frank would tell you more than I could, but there's a rivalry there that'll never disappear. But when you get into the stadiums, have some respect. Have your banter, have your laugh, you make some jokes, but don't talk about death. I mean, what is people doing? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't so much the deaths, it was the gestures.
Mm.
It was
Exactly.
horrible.
Really
That fella was horrible.
Mm.
And don't
I
forget,
think he's been arrested.
I was there, not at the Old Trafford, you know where it was. And, it's shocking to think. It really is shocking to think that I'm looking at that and a lot of other people as well. That fella doing all those gestures.
This is the thing, Frank. There's so many cameras watching football now. Just find these idiots, no matter who they are, from whatever team they support. Find them, ban them for life from football. They can never go to another stadium as long as they're alive, and give them a prison sentence, and it's done. You know what I mean?
It's done, yeah. But you know what?
They won't do it because our country's weak. So,
well, do you know what? Honestly, I said this last year, like the year before, whatever, and I said ban them. You know, if they start chanting at Anfield, which they do every year, all fans, not just United fans, all fans do it. Just get hold of their club and just say, if before the game, that is, before they travel up a week before or whatever, put a notice out that if there's any chanting, discrimination against Liverpool and the Liverpool fans, you'll be banned. You will be banned.
But you know what, Frank? So Premier League games, you don't see it as much because getting hold of Premier League tickets for a lot of clubs now is very difficult. Yeah, unless you go to a game, to go to your first ever game, if you support a Premier League club, can be very, very difficult now to get hold of because they're trying to get rid of all the nonsense in stadiums, ain't they? But when you got FA Cup games and stuff like that, it's so much easier to get hold of tickets if you've never gone to a game before. So much easier. So unfortunately, you're going to get morons from outer space. Unfortunately, getting hold of these tickets and doing what they've done. So they got to do. I know people want to go to games, and they got to. A lot of people talk about ticketing system at the moment in this country. It's very difficult. Especially Liverpool fans, it's extremely difficult to get a Liverpool ticket if you've never gone to Anfield before.
Terrible.
So they have to, but I understand why they do it because they're trying to stop abuse in stadiums. They're trying to stop racism. They're trying to stop all these aggressions and everything like this happening in football stadiums. So I understand it. But yeah, unfortunately, Frank, there's some terrible people in the world and it can't be helped. You know what I mean? They're just.
We're experiencing it today, aren't we, really? But, getting away from that, and Charlie Wood says, and I'll stay with you, Jamie, then go to the JK there. I think Bradley should have took one for the team for one of those goals. He could have stopped the player before the shot.
Yeah. Young players don't do that anymore. I've noticed there's a lot in young players. Young players very rarely take a player out for no reason. Like they very rarely do that. It's more of the older, experienced players.
Yeah.
Like if that was a Tyro Endo, he's probably just 2-footing him. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what he does. But I've noticed this with young players a lot now. Young players don't really do that. They're too nicey these days. And they do let players run off them a lot. I've noticed this a lot. A lot of young players. They let players run off them, start counter-attacks. Harvey Elliott, for the goal, should have just really taken Rashford out from behind, get a red card, do whatever you needed. They're not scoring that goal. Yeah, I see that in young players, man. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way they're brought up. They're just brought up too nice, maybe. But yeah, the older veterans, I've seen Casemiro for Man United this season and last season. If that happens, he's taking the player out because it's that veteran instinct to do that knowledge. But yeah, young players, man, they just don't do it.
What about you, JK?
Can you repeat the question, bro?
Sorry?
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
No, well, yeah, go away with this one then, because Jamie answered it so eloquently, as usual, without him ranting. I want him to rant.
Oh, I'll rant, don't worry. I'll rant.
I hope you do. Sorry to say that. But anyway, Yusuf, JK, he says, we have a few bogey grounds to go to, Fulham away and them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I tell you the truth, Old Trafford wasn't really a bogey ground recently since Klopp's been with us. We've always done pretty well there.
Yeah.
So we've got rid of that bogey. The Fulham one, we always seem to have good games against them there. But Fulham, very inconsistent team as well. They win 1 week and then they get beat, then they win. They just beat Tottenham at home, didn't they? The other day. So, but for me, I'm just looking forward to that game at Old Trafford. 2 games before that, looking forward to them. Goals, get our goal difference up. But I think since Klopp's been in, we haven't really had a sort of bogey team, really. Maybe Brentford. Okay, we just won at Brentford for the first time since 1930 or something this season. So maybe that's a sign when we go to Old Trafford and Fulham.
And as Jamie said, they're all winnable games, every single one of them. But I think we will go, I know that we'll go to Old Trafford. It'll be an entirely different game from the one on Sunday. And we'll go at them. And with our players fit as well by the time we get up there, playing the likes of Jota, for example, Ali, in goal. It won't be like that again. It will not be like that again.
Well, put it this way, Frank. If Liverpool had Manchester United in the Premier League, that Thursday game against Sparta Prague would have been a much changed side. I don't think he would have gone as strong against Sparta Prague in the second leg if the Man United game was a Premier League match.
Yeah.
So the Premier League game's more important. Look, I don't like losing to United. No one does. But if I had to choose one game to lose at the 2 matches, it would have been the FA Cup game.
Well,
if they take over, if they win more FA Cups, I couldn't give a crap. But if we equaled their Premier League thing, Man United fans keep going on about it for ages. It took you 1 year to win 30 win 30 years to win 1 title. Like they forgot it took them 40 years to win 1. They're very forgetful, yeah. But then also, that means we gave you a 30-year head start, and you're only 1 in front of us. That's what they don't think about. They had a 30-year head start, and they're only 1 in front. But somehow we got 6 European Cups.
Do you know what? But it's true, isn't it? And no one does think about that. No one. And when I said, at the time they were winning the league, year after year, I said, there's no one here. There's no one to challenge them. And the only do you ever remember when Leeds won it? When and they just come up and won it. Well, I don't mean just come up from the second division or anything, but they won the league right out of the blue. They've done nothing else since then. And it was only Arsenal who was trying to challenge them. We weren't. We were absolutely dreadful. as they were winning all the leagues and everything else that went with it. And they really thought that they could go on and dominate even up to today. But they've had a terrible lean spell, and it's gone back a few years now. It's not just like, here they are, all of a sudden beating Liverpool. And well, anyway, as Steve Evans says, karma will get that cretin. This is the fella doing this, and it will affect this family. No sympathy for him, and that's right. That's right, if you know what I mean. See, people up here, honestly, are
But some
really.
United fans have been like going against him as well, saying, "Come on, man, that's not good."
Yeah.
I think if you got your head screwed on, no matter what football team you support, you ain't going to do things like that. So, normal people who support United said that guy is a bit of a joker. What is he actually doing there? He's embarrassing the club. I've never heard Liverpool fans ever sing about Munich, ever.
I've got a few songs about Rooney, if you want them.
Well,
you know what I mean? But Rooney, yeah.
But Steve Evans, a good friend of mine, Jamie, and he is a big vet. And he says, I'm taking Sunday as one of those days, mate. Yes, we did beat ourselves when we should have killed the game off. Bad game management. So he agrees with you there, Jamie. Different matter when we play them in the league next month.
Oh, totally.
Well, go on, Jamie.
Before I mention that comment, I just want to say one thing to Man United fans. Your hero is a Scouser. I'm just putting it out there. Wayne Rooney's a Scouser. So Man United's hero is a Scouser. So I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, you're right about this. That Man United can't play any better than they did this Sunday against us. They can't play any better. Liverpool can't play any worse. Jurgen Klopp and the boys are not going to make the same mistake twice at Old Trafford, in my opinion. And it'll be a totally different game when we play in like 3 or 4 weeks' time. I think we'll probably have Trent available. Alisson will be playing. Curtis Jones will be playing. Jota will probably be on the bench, part of the squad. It'll be a totally different outfit. Won't make the same mistakes. We'll be more fresher. Yeah. It's going to be night and day, man. It's going to be night and day. Actually, I think we'll go embarrass them. Look, they're a mid-table. Look, I don't blame Man United fans for going on about it still where are we now? It's Tuesday evening. They're still going on about it. I don't mind it because if I was a mid-table club beating a giant, I'd be going on about it too for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So, what I'm saying? Like, if I was Shrewsbury Town and I just beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, as a Shrewsbury fan, I'm still going on about it. So that's why Man United fans are doing it. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Jamie, I think you'll agree with me here. If they get to the final, if they beat Coventry and play City, what's worse? Getting beat by Liverpool, at Old Trafford, or getting beat by Manchester City at Wembley. That's the way I look at it.
Wasn't that the FA Cup final last year as well?
Yeah. So what do you think? Yeah. See what I mean? There's nothing worse than that.
I think Chelsea are going to beat Man City. I think it'll be a Chelsea United final.
Really?
Yeah, I think Chelsea will beat Man City.
Go away. Do
I don't think Man City. I'm going to say it right now. Right, you got me going now. I personally don't think Man City are that good this season. I really don't. I don't think they're playing that well. I think defensively they're naive. Against Newcastle, I can't believe the way Newcastle played against them in the FA Cup. They literally just bent down and took it up the backside. That's what they did against Man City. They just sat there, let them do whatever they want to them. If you go toe-to-toe with City, you can score and create chances. And I feel like Chelsea will give it a go against Manchester City in that FA Cup game because there's nothing else for Chelsea to play for this season. They go finish where they finish. They need to be in Europe because if they don't get in Europe, they could be in a massive issue next season for points deduction because of the amount of money they've lost this summer. So they need to be in Europe big time. So I see them going for it, man. I see them going for it. I think it'll be, a United-Chelsea final.
Wow. That surprised me, that. That has surprised me. It hasn't shocked me, but it surprised me, if you know what I mean. But nevertheless, whether it's Chelsea or whether it's City, they will get beat. They're not that good.
I think City will finish third. I think City will finish third this season. I think Liverpool will win the league by 3 points.
Yeah.
Arsenal finish second, City will finish third.
Well, Liam McHale says he's played 10 times in all competitions at Old Trafford under Jurgen. Won 2, lost 4, and drew 4. Again, we let them off the hook on Sunday. So, we're still smarting over it. We are, no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it, we are still smart. And even Oasis and the Beatles are coming into this conversation. Look at that. Norman says a bit of Oasis want to be the Beatles. United want to have our big 6. Our big ears, 6 big ears. Of course they do.
It's an hard one for me. This is an hard one for me, Frank, because obviously I was born in the 80s, in 1981, and I grew up in the 90s as a teenager. So I was a big Oasis fan. I was a big Oasis fan. But the more I've got older and matured, I can't stand them pricks no more. I can't stand them. And when you actually listen to them, like Liam Gallagher talks this big game about the Liverpool-Manchester stuff and all this, and how proud he is to be a Mancunian, right? But the man wants to be John Lennon.
Yeah.
The man wants to be John Lennon.
Yeah. You're so
right. I mean, what are we doing here? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
These Mancunians just want to be Scousers, Frank. That's what it is. They're desperate, man.
Yeah,
they're desperate.
That's what
they're desperate. Man, they're desperate. They can't. They just want to be Scousers, man. I've never heard Scousers or Liverpudlians ever talk about the City of Manchester or Mancunians or anything like that. Ever. Never. All you ever hear is Mancunians talk about Scousers all the time. Oh, your city's not good as our city. Your nightlife's not good as our nightlife. How do you know? How do you know? Do you want to be just fuck off?
But don't you think? But don't you think even Pep? As you know, Liverpool's in his mind all the time, and every pundit around the country, Jamie, every pundit around the country, Liverpool is in their heads. Liverpool, and they were made up. Liverpool got beat. They were absolutely delighted.
Oh, yeah. Bro, on Sunday it was us against City, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham fans. Like they were all doing watch-alongs. It was wild. It was like, and this is what I'm saying about Liverpool. If it was say Man City against Man United, it would be sort of. Everyone would probably be on Man City side, So I think Liverpool, for some reason, it sort of boils their blood, and I think that's the success we've had over the years. People just don't want to admit that, and that is the main reason why they're all sort of going after us. And also, they like the hiccup because I reckon Klopp played them guys on Thursday, so we don't lose that game going into the game on Sunday. That's the only reason I gave for Klopp doing that decision, playing them guys on Thursday. I thought, you know what, you don't want to get beat at Anfield going into a quarter-final of FA Cup. So that's one thing I was thinking why maybe Klopp did that decision on Thursday,
Well, what do you think of this?
But then he played the kids against Southampton in the FA Cup at Anfield and still won. And Southampton are better than Sparta Prague. So I'm not sure.
I don't know why he did it, actually. He just didn't need to start Endo because Endo was sort of flustering. Van Dijk didn't need to come on,
It's a weird one. I think he just got it wrong. And I think he just got it wrong. And that's it. Simple as that, really.
That shocked me, though, that, Jamie. Sitting there and all of a sudden you see Big Virgil, warming up and coming on.
It was like It's like Jurgen was just taking the piss.
But I thought,
He was showing off.
what if he gets injured? You know, that's what I was thinking of. But anyway, I'll tell you what. Let's. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? What Daryl Merry says, Jamie?
I
Michael
don't want Kimmich. No, I don't think
he's too old.
Yeah, what is he? 29 now. He's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, 29.
He's not the player he once was. I'd rather buy the player when he was great, not once we get him now. Do you remember when we got Yari Litmanen? When Gerard Houllier got Yari Litmanen at Liverpool, I was buzzing then because I remember Litmanen at Ajax, and he was a tremendous footballer. But we got Litmanen at the end of his career, sort of thing, when he weren't the Litmanen we all knew of. And Kimmich at 20, Kimmich at 25. Give me Kimmich at 25. There's hardly anyone better. But Kimmich now, no. And Marlon, you know, I was talking about this months ago on my channel at Liverpool. Very interesting.
Litmanen was great, Jamie. Litmanen was absolutely brilliant. And Houllier kept dropping them.
Yeah.
Houllier kept dropping them. Yeah, he's murdered and JK's out. Anyway, there's a question for the panel from Anfield Road, Jamie. Did anyone notice when Elliott came on, our right got so weak in transition? Elliott has done well, but he was naive not to that Garnacho down, to bring him down. I think Jurgen made an error, and everybody's saying. And do you reckon that the right-hand side did go weak?
Yeah, look, again, it was a weird one because, again, with the Elliott thing, 20-year-old kid not bringing down a player when they're on the counter-attack and taking a booking. Again, I keep saying, it's the youngsters. I don't know if it's their age or the way they're brought up now. They're just not vicious like that. It's not. They don't pass. They rather try and run back and win the ball and start a counter-attack than bring them down and get a booking and a foul. They just think differently, I think, youngsters today. But yeah, what was the rest of it, Crank? Sorry, go back to that comment.
No, it's okay because he says Elliott has done well, but we was naive, and that's the thing. That's naivety.
I think Elliott looked tired
about the young kids, and they don't do that. But when they get a little bit older, they're right in there.
But Elliott looked tired as well. Elliott looked proper tired. Elliott's played a lot of football in the last few weeks.
But so was the other fella.
He looked shattered. And this is the thing. The crazy thing is that Mo Salah played 90 minutes against Sparta Prague when he probably didn't need to. And then only played 60 minutes against Man United when you really wanted him to play 90 minutes because he's not going with Egypt in the national team. So he's going to be in Liverpool. I just feel like it was just what we lost is when Salah. The problem with Mo, if Mo's not playing well, he's got such an aura about him that he automatically takes 2 or 3 defenders towards him. And when that happens, Mo doesn't have to play well to influence the game because players, defenders are drawn to Mo Salah because it's Mo Salah. And when that happens, you open more space around for other attackers and midfielders to run into them gaps. So when you take Mo off, you've got less of a threat and less of an aura on the pitch. So when the Man United players see like Harvey Elliott come on, they can defend a bit more, with a bit more authority going one-on-one defending because you ain't got that worry of Harvey Elliott like you have with Mo Salah. So I think that's why it went a bit flat when Mo went off, personally. Big up, George.
Hi, Jamie.
Bless George.
Frank. Sorry about late coming on, Frank. I've been off the
No, don't be worrying. Don't be worrying. Absolutely made up to see you. But listen, as Jamie's been going on, about the likes of young Elliott, playing too much football. But I've always said as well that Diaz, he's been playing a hell of a lot of football, like the rest of them. And the right-hand side, someone put a comment up saying, as soon as Elliott came on, the right-hand side went very weak. What's your take on that, George?
Yeah, it did. It did. All the attacking came down that side. That's where they caused us problems. Really, it was a strange game. I've just been watching Howard Webb trying to justify that decision about the penalty on mic'd up. It was an absolute farce. He's talking to Michael Owen, trying his best to say that he touched the ball with his toe, and Matt McAllister leant into him, and he didn't overturn Oliver's decision because it was, what a load of rubbish. Honest to God, I felt sick. I had to turn it off. What can you do? What can you do?
I was watching it, and they said McAllister invaded his space. He's the attacking player. Where's he meant to go?
He never said that, does he?
Oh,
yeah, because he invaded his space, but McAllister's the attacking player. Also, when you watch, they put it up on Twitter and all that as well. When you watch the incident back, you can clearly see McAllister chest the ball first.
Yeah.
First, and then McAllister goes like this to protect his body because he sees the high boot coming. Yeah, it's not rocket science. We know what's happened, and the reason it's madness. It's absolutely madness.
He said that Oliver had given the penalty. They would have said check complete, and if Oliver didn't give the penalty, they say check complete. So on neither occasion would they send him to the monitor. Oliver was behind McAllister. He couldn't possibly have seen where the ball was in McAllister's chest. The most blatant. I'm not going to go on about it. I had McSay last week. It's the most blatant penalty I've ever seen. But there you go. That's what you're up against.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, you see, what we were talking about as well, George, is the final run in. Most of the lads will be back. Jamie said, like we've all said, that Jota is our natural goal scorer. He'll be back. And, with Ali as well, albeit Kelleher's done that magnificent job.
Yes.
We're not taking anything away. You just put Ali straight back in there. Back in there. He frightens people. And this is it. You're right about Mo Salah, because, George, and you, Jamie and JK, we've watched their teams, playing us. And when one of their players, is taken off, a dangerous player as well. Just imagine Harry Kane playing for Spurs. And then, how dangerous he is. And if he came off, it's a big sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's a big sigh. And that's what happened on Sunday.
Yeah, because, Mo Salah's always going to be able to get you a goal. Even if he's not playing at his best, even if he's a bit tired, whatever, he's going to score. If it's a chance, you put the ball in the back of the net, and I thought it was wrong to take him off. We needed a goal there, didn't we? We needed to score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, we paid the price for trying to score. We were trying to get the winner. They broke down. Elliott lost possession. And away they went.
The thing with Mo Salah that people still don't get today, which is mad, is that Mo has games where he looks awful for like 80 minutes, but then he gets 2 goals. Because he's a goal scorer. I've witnessed it with Michael Owen as well, and players like that. And Gary Lineker, go back games. Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker used to score 40 goals a season for Everton and Leicester and Tottenham and that. But you watch him play, and you will think, what does he actually do? He's not great. He's not eye-catching. He's very quiet at times. And then bang, he gets 40 in a season. Because all he's employed to do is put that little round ball in the back of the net. He doesn't have to link play, or he's just employed to put that ball in the back of the net. And Mo's a bit like that. Mo can be very quiet for games, gives the ball away a lot, tries too much, tries straight, we pull our hair out, and then he gets the match winner. And we're like, all right, that's Mo Salah.
Yeah. That is Mo Salah. And this is what I said as well, Jamie and George and JK. Mo Salah can score from the first minute right up to the last minute.
Yeah, it proved it countless times.
But you reckon that, I think one of the comments came in and said that I think Klopp was looking at him, and he must have thought that, he's not giving it all, and he might get injured or whatever, pull his muscle or whatever. And that's why he's brought him on.
Yeah, I think it was the first time that Klopp substitutes didn't work. His substitutes have been brilliant
Yeah.
this season. And
Yeah.
that was the only time he probably made a mistake, and they do make mistakes. Great managers make mistakes. There's not a perfect manager. It can happen. Maybe that's just what happened. They maybe just misjudged it. But I mean, at the end of the day, that game, we completely outclassed them in the second half of the match. Completely outclassed them. At one stage, we had 5 against 2, and they still couldn't put it in the net. Faffing around in the box and passing it on to Gakpo and back to, instead of just sticking it in the back of the net, And then in the extra time period, for some reason, two things turned the game, didn't it? Two things. Nunes has passed across the box in his own half, and Elliott losing possession on the edge of their box. Those two little things cost us the game.
Yeah.
Schoolboy errors. That was a schoolboy error. That I remember, for our school, and our teacher said, "Listen, whatever you do, don't pass in like that. Kick it down there, down the wing, whatever."
You don't want your strikers across the box. Anyway, these things happen. It's all part of the game. It's fantastic.
Well, all right. Well, we got off that, and I asked Jamie before about coming into the last third now of the season and going out. We are a very strong side, and we've proved it over the years that we are a strong finisher. Now, do you think, and JK as well said the same, do you think that the motivation will be there from Klopp and from themselves, that they've learned a lesson and complacency will not?
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt, they'll be motoring. They'll be going every minute of every game to win that league. I can feel it and see it. You can see the disappointment in the team at the end of the game. And I've heard McAllister saying, we're going to win it, we're going to go for it. They will. Every single player there have got the method in the mind that they're going to win that Premier League. And if they don't win it, I'm telling you, Frank, it won't be for the one to try. I think they'll go all the way to try and get it. And that's the crown, isn't it? That's the cherry on the top of the cake, Premier League. If you win the Premier League and only win the Premier League, I'd be over the moon. But, I think we've got a good chance in still doing the treble. We've got the strongest. I mean, look how we outplayed City in the second half. We proved, I've never seen a Man City team so disorganised and so worried. They're pulling De Bruyne off and arguing with. That's never happened before. And again against United, I think we outplayed them completely. So I think we're in a good position, really. And we've got two big games coming up now. Brighton and Sheffield United. We win them at home, then, the big games coming up will be Everton, Goodison. I know they're struggling, but derbies are always tight. And Fulham away.
The only problem.
Well, I'm going to ask Jamie here, Jamie. If we win the league, with all the trials and tribulations this season, millions of injuries, we've had 9-10 players out, pivotal players, by the way, very important players. And, VAR, I don't want to get into all this VAR, and, I don't want to get into it. And, the terrible decisions by VAR, terrible decisions by refs. If Liverpool win the league, how will it go down in the history of Liverpool and all the leagues that they've won?
I actually probably think it would be regarded as the greatest Premier League win of all time, no matter who.
Totally.
Because if you go back in Premier League history and look at all the teams that won the league, I don't think any team would have won the league with the injury record Liverpool have had this season and having to play kids and manipulate their way through games and the way they've had to do it. I think Jurgen Klopp's made more rotation and squad picks than any other manager in the league this season. And, we obviously always talk about Leicester winning the Premier League, and that's always going to be remembered as probably the greatest ever achievement in Premier League history as that one-off thing. But, yeah, look, let's put it this way. I do not believe Man City win the league with the amount of starters Liverpool have had out injured if City had the same. I don't think Arsenal would be anywhere near if they didn't have their number one goalkeeper, one of their defenders out for a long time, their star midfielders, their star forwards, If Saka and Martinelli were both out for 4 or 5 weeks together at the same time, like we've had with, Salah and Jotas and players like this,
Yeah,
they'd struggle massively. So, yeah, rivals won't want to listen to it. They won't believe it. But for me, it'd be the best ever achievement in Premier League history, apart from the Leicester one, which is just this massive one-off amazing thing that happened. That's my personal opinion.
yeah.
Would you do me a favour, Jamie? Would you tell the people out there to smash the like button and subscribe, please?
The fun button underneath that video is a like. It's free to do. It don't cost you a thing. Please go and press it. It helps with the algorithm on YouTube. So the more people that press the like button while you're live, the algorithm starts moving around and pushing out the video to people that don't know Frank's live or don't know that Frank's got a channel. See that like button? It don't take a second to do. In fact, you can do it at the same time you blink. It's that easy. It's that quick. So,
What a great salesman.
Isn't he? And he's just,
Well
and you
done.
know what?
Well done.
He's just started his own channel, and I think people are going
Yes,
like
he
that.
will.
Afraid I was smashing the like button and subscribe. And brilliant. Thank you, Jamie. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying, Jamie, Mo Salah's only played twice since the 5th of January. You know what I mean? He's been injured. He's been in the African Nations Cup, and despite that, we've been winning games hand over foot. No other team would lose a main striker like that and keep on winning.
No. I think City are probably the only ones who could because of the way they play. But I think if Arsenal had Saka out, as long as Salah's been out, I think they'd struggle because he does so much more than just scoring goals and assisting for them. He assists as well. So I think it's great. It's a great achievement. Look, it's not over yet. We don't know what's going to happen, but what Liverpool's done this season, no one expected, man.
Especially when you manage to score as well.
It's a league mentality as well. Some people ain't got it. Some people ain't got it. It's mentality as well. It's just not physical attributes. It's mentality. And some people can have all the physical attributes and be a tremendous footballer, but if they haven't got it up here, sometimes it don't work out. Sometimes it don't work out.
Talent without application, you're not going to get there.
Exactly.
What do you think, JK?
Yeah, bang on, bro. Without the application, you ain't going to do it. It's true what George just said.
Well, look at Daryl Merry, what he says, and I'd like all your opinion. I'll start with you, JK.
Mm-hmm.
Just sign that fella from Napoli. The right winger. He gets a 10 out of 10 for spelling that name. Just Daryl. But anyway, what you think? What you think? I like him. I watch Napoli, by the way. I like that lad. He's absolutely brilliant. What you think, JK? What Daryl says?
I actually like him. I seen him a few years ago. He was real good. Thing is with him, it depends on what the new manager wants. He will be a good signing for us, but you know how Napoli do business. They're going to ask for big bucks. So him and Osterman together, it will be crazy money, So that's one reason maybe I wouldn't want to really look at him. I like the guy from AC Milan. He plays on the left, Liao. I think under a good manager, he could express himself a little bit further. Like we got Diaz playing on the left for us. I think Diaz has improved since his issues over the winter off the field and stuff. And I think that Man City game was where I said, you know what? Diaz is sort of back to when we sort of brought him. Didn't stop. Okay, he could have scored a goal. But I felt, But that game against United, he went missing again. So that's football nowadays. Consistency. And we was like talking about Salah. Yeah, Salah might not even do nothing for 80 minutes. But he'll go and get 2 assists and a goal in the last 10 minutes. And that's why you always keep them type of players on. Diaz won't do that for you. I think also Diaz could have maybe Darwin started on the bench on Sunday. Because for me, Darwin is not fit yet. He wasn't sharp like how we all know Darwin. So I think for the future, the guy from Napoli, top player, but crazy money.
Okay. What about you? I'll end with Jay there, Jamie. What do you think about a sign if we did, or just go after him, inquire about him, George? He's a great player, George. He's a great
Well, it's
player.
going to be in the summer, isn't it? I mean, at the moment, we've got to concentrate on what's going on here at the moment. I think in the summer, they'll be stretching the net wide, looking at players. I have to be honest, I've not seen this lad play. I'm not seeing him. You've got much more knowledge of that than I have. If you say he's a great player, I trust your judgment and JK's. I mean, there's a lot of good players out there. We've already picked up quite a few as it stands at the moment with the likes of McAllister and others, so I'm sure we'll continue to do that, But I've just got my mind focused now on this next 10 games, and trying to use our current squad to win the league. And then once we finish that, let's start thinking about who we're bringing in and who we're going to sign and all that. Because I don't think we can influence it much at the moment. Michael Edwards and all the rest of them, they'll be getting onto that,
Well, it's just a comment by him. What would you say to that, Jamie? This lad's from Napoli.
I like him. He's a tidy footballer. I have my concerns about him. I think Italian football really suits him and the style that he plays. I think sometimes I look at someone like you might talk about him later. I look at someone like Cody Gakpo, and I think he's a tidy good player, but I don't think English football suits him. And a slower league with a less tempo, where he gets a bit more time and the ball would suit his play. And I look at that. I call him Kevin. I can't pronounce his name, so I just call him Kevin. And he's a good he's a good winger. I think you need an out-and-out striker to play with. I don't know if him and Darwin would match well, because Darwin likes to. That's why I think Jota and Darwin work well together, because Jota and Darwin can go left to, they can swap position all the time. You watch them play, Jota go central, Darwin go left, and defenders can't pick him up. I think with him, the bloke from Napoli, you need an out-and-out striker who'll keep his position more, that he can play off and get balls into and play into feet, where he can get 1-2s off him or crosses into the box, looking for him in the box. I think he's that kind of winger for me. So I don't know, with the players we got around in that forward area, I don't know if he'd actually suit our game.
Okay. No, okay, well, that's fine. It was like, it's like a couple of other lads who we signed. Alberto Aquilani, for example. Alberto Aquilani in Italy was a brilliant player.
Yeah,
but unfortunately here, it was so hard.
It's a different challenge.
And very hard. And that was the downfall of him. I felt so sorry for him, to be honest. But anyway, so listen, do you know, where we're going forward now, because everybody is saying we should, we will move forward. Are you confident? Are you really confident that, we can put this right?
Yeah, I think the big thing is getting Jota back as well, because he's the one guy that can really finish off. He's a class striker, and we've missed him. I think if we get him back in, him alongside Nunes and Diaz and Salah, those guys are lethal when they're on form. We score goals for fun. So that's important, I think, and then, as I think Jamie said before, we've got Trent coming back. We've got, virtually the lot. Jones, Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
We've missed him. We've missed him as well, because he was playing really well before he got injured. So I think it's all looking good. It's all looking good on paper anyway, this international break, providing we have no injuries in these international meaningless fixtures.
But what about Canessa?
Another one,
player. He's pivotal in.
Yeah, very, very much.
Missed him on Sunday.
Go ahead, Jamie.
No, I was just saying that we missed Kanate on Sunday. His aggression, I think we just missed that. But I was just thinking, say about 2 months ago, when our injuries sort of started coming through, a lot of us fans were worried about where we would be, title race, Europa League and FA Cup and stuff. Okay, we got knocked out of the FA Cup, but we're still up there in the Premier League, in the league running. I think we've done pretty well when you consider we only had Gakpo and Diaz up top for nearly every game, and whoever else is available from the youth system. Yeah, I think that disappointed him on Sunday. I don't want to go OTT with it. I think it's a one-off game. It's for a cup. If fans wanted to win it, we didn't. So that means we've got 2 less occasions to deal with on our calendar. Man City have to do that maybe now, So that's an extra sort of burden on them guys, But I just believe with the way we've come through this injury crisis and manager change and Edwards coming in and this, that, and the other, we're still okay, I don't think there's no need to be worried. I think the first weekend where we have Brighton on Sunday and then Arsenal play City. So that's sort of God helping us out there that we played before them guys. If we get 3 points in that game, it'll be a good thing. So for me, until then, the guys who are on international duty go, come back fit, and see who's available for that game.
I think these young lads coming through have been a huge bonus as well, for the club. I mean, not many clubs in the Premier League that I've noticed recently have got about 11 or 12 guys coming through the academy, virtually all of them able to play in the big team and proving themselves at the highest level, like in the final of the League Cup. And then people like young Dan's coming in. He looks like a special player.
I know it.
So we're very lucky there to have that backup at a time when we had serious injuries to the first team squad.
Yeah, that's Klopp's going away present. That's like a going away present. I'm leaving you these guys. And I think that's
really... the problem is with that, Liverpool gotta get a young manager in. And I don't know if a young manager coming in will give the same time Jurgen Klopp has done to the youth team as a young manager will do. Because we're going to get more inexperienced manager. That's my only worry. If Klopp stays, I think you see more Bobby Clark's in the squad and things like that, and Conor Bradley's will continue. I just worry if, say, Alonso comes in. I don't think Alonso will look at it thinking, I'm going to have to play these boys. He will look to get his own players in, and that's what managers do. So that is one thing I'm concerned with. But when I listened to, I think Lee Clark, he was on, I don't know if you guys heard it, Lee Clark was on that Sam Allardyce podcast, No Tippy Tappy. Have you seen that? Yes.
His father.
Yeah, Lee Clark was talking about how the Liverpool Academy works, and it was fascinating stuff. Insane the way that they do it at AXA now. They got the under 15s pitch next to the under 16s, next to the under, and the pitches go up in order to the first team.
Yeah, I've been there.
And then they get a collection of players. They called I can't remember what he calls it now, but they get a collection of players from all different parts of the academy that they believe are going to be the next superstars. And then Klopp watches them from his office. And apparently them players for the last 12 months or so have been your Conor Bradleys, your Bobby Clarks, your Jayden Dans and things like that. And they think they got bright futures. And if you look at the contracts that have been handed out to youth players lately, they've been Dans, they've been Bradleys, they've been Clarks. So obviously Liverpool see them having a huge future. I just hope the new manager, when he comes in, carries on that same future, because them 3 players to me are pivotal to Liverpool going forward, because they're obviously talented. If one of the most elite managers in world football, Jurgen Klopp, can see a talent in them, it doesn't stop any other manager playing.
Well, who sticks out in your mind, Jamie? Out of the young kids.
Who do I like, or who do I sell? Sorry, who do I like?
Who do you like? Who stands out for you?
I like Bobby Clark, man. Do you know what I like about Bobby Clark? I like his aggression, not just his technical ability, his work rate and his aggression in midfield. He's got hunger. He looks like he's got hunger. He looks a really down to earth person as well. And I think for more, sometimes you don't need all the technical ability in the world. If you can leave every ounce of blood and sweat on the pitch every 90 minutes, that will go over more with a manager, more than just having technical ability sometimes. Because the manager can rely on you. All right, you might not have the technical ability of A, B, or C, but I know you're going to give me absolutely everything in your body for 90 minutes. And that will get him picked over certain players. And I've always said this. I'll go back and say this about Jordan Henderson a lot. Although I'm falling out of him now. But back when he was a Liverpool player, I used to say this about Jordan Henderson a lot. He weren't technically as good as Paul Pogba. He weren't nowhere technically as good as a footballer as Paul Pogba. But what he got himself in such a position in this Liverpool team that he was performing in a world-class level without being a world-class footballer, because it was mentality, it was desire, and it was playing everything of his ability on a football pitch for 90 minutes. And that's why Jurgen Klopp picked him every week. And I think
you know what? He was a good leader as well. He was a good leader.
And that's I like Bobby Clark. If you can keep that going, you don't need all the technical ability. You just need that, man. He'll have a great career, no matter where it is.
Yeah, when I played for Shankly, that's what he used to say. He used to say, "You've got to run through a brick wall to play for Liverpool." You know what I mean? You've got to give everything on that pitch and leave nothing behind when you come off. And if you can do that, and you've got the talents as well, then you're made. But I keep saying, when these young lads get their chance, they've got to take it. All the big players take the chance. Michael Owen, Steve Gerrard, big debuts. Clark, Dan's. You've got to make it. You've got to, the young lad at the back, Conor Bradley especially. Look at the impression he made when he came on. That first goal he made when he came on, running down the wing, pushing it inside, then score. I mean, he's really brilliant for a young lad who's coming in and taking his chance, and that's what they have to do. Sadly, if they don't, they'll drift away.
Does anyone see? I only watched a few, just the highlights there. The under-21s play in Manchester City.
No.
Anyone see it? It was incredible. Liverpool won, they beat them. And do you know, we're always going on about refs. I'd love you to watch it. Jamie, watch it. And if you think, that we're being harshly done by with penalties, have a look at that. You're under 21. It was shocking.
Even at that level?
Oh, it was shocking. And even the commentator says, "Is he having a laugh?" Shocking. Absolutely shocking the way it was.
I do like what the club are doing with our under-21s and our academies, though.
It's brilliant.
You have two things to do with academies, I believe, in football today, in modern football. Academies are either a farm where you use them to sell to make money, to buy players that are going to start in your first team, i.e. like Chelsea have done in the Roman years. That's what they basically did with their academy. Or you grow your academy to players. They don't have to be homegrown. Like, they don't have to be from Liverpool or the area or something like that. But you grow your academy to get players in that can make the first team to save you money. Because you can't always go out and buy the next 50 million, 70 million, 100 million pound player all the time. You've got to have that 70 million footballer in your academy that's going to come in. So I look at Conor Bradley and Kwanzaa. Look at them two. How much money are they going to save Liverpool? And get another centre back and a right back. In today's football, Conor Bradley's probably already worth 30 million at least.
Yeah.
And Kwanzaa has been outrageously good. And that's what I love about our academy at the moment. And I just love that. That's football back to where football used to be, in my opinion. So I got this love and hate affection with football at the moment. I don't like football as much as I used to, just because it's all about how much you earn and how much you spend now, instead of the beautiful game.
Yeah.
But when I see the academy at our club being used properly, and I'm seeing Conor Bradley come in, I'm seeing Kwanzaa come in, I'm seeing Clark come in, and Jayden Danns, and then I'm listening to their stories and their interviews they did the other week, and I'm like, Kwanzaa being here from 8 years old, and talking about why he's at the club and how much love for the club he has, and he wants to work hard because he wants to be a Liverpool centre back. That's his career. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He just wants to be a Liverpool centre back. And that's the way football should be, man. That's the way football romantic. I think the romance in football is dying a little bit because I want the next Declan Rice. I need to spend 120 million. And that, for me, is not football. That's just bankrolling.
Well, I think you could take what you say.
Kwanzaa's been in Liverpool for 14 years.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Mad, isn't he? He's only 21.
Players never spend a career at Liverpool 14 years.
But what you're saying there, Jamie, as well, that they want to play for Liverpool. There's no one more so than a young lad from London Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
100
He'd
100
run
years.
through a brick wall. He
Yeah.
would run through a brick wall, that lad, for us.
Yeah,
Can I just say hello to Chris Dix?
I love him.
Best wishes, Frank, from Chris and the Montenegro Reds. And you know what? These are brilliant. They've got a massive fan club over there in
Yeah.
Montenegro, and they're unbelievable. They
I
really
wish I'd
are.
known that, Frank. I was there in the summer. I wish I'd known they had a fan club, but I went
Oh,
and seen
go
them.
away, was you?
Yeah, I was there on a cruise. Yeah, Montenegro. I would have went and seen them.
Montenegro, yeah.
The
Beautiful.
Malta boys have asked me to go over.
Look at George cruising in Montenegro. Look at George here.
We've got fan clubs all over the world. Already been to Sweden.
Oh, George, you make me jealous, man. You make me jealous. George has played for Shankly. George has played for Shankly, Liverpool's greatest. He's going on these cruises. What a life. What a life, George. And that's why you got to buy his book, guys. The Lost Shankly Boy. Buy it now. Amazon. Go for it.
You're a great. I was a salesman for the second half of my life, and you're better than me.
Well, the drunk Vigo here, there's one for you, Jamie. We got to get Jamie Phillips on a train to Liverpool.
Do you know it's cheaper for me to fly to Spain than it is to get a train to Liverpool? Do you know how mad
When's
that
the
is?
last game you've seen at Liverpool, Jamie? At Anfield?
The last time I was in Liverpool was before. Well, the last time I was in Liverpool was before the pandemic.
Wow.
Because actually, I went to Liverpool in the middle of the pandemic. You know, when the country opened up again, they did that 50% off food and all that. You know, eat to dine out. Whatever.
Eat out.
I was in Liverpool then because it was my birthday, and that was the last time. Yeah, that was the last time.
But when you come up again, Jamie, stay with me, mate.
Yeah, I was staying in the Premier Inn on the Albert Docks. I was staying there for a few days.
This in here, you'll be all right.
I'll probably be up this summer. That's when I'll probably be up.
Well,
I was looking at trains. I was like, because I'm going up I will be up for the Klopp send-off parade and stuff like that. I'm definitely going.
Oh,
I'm mapping out how I'm going to get there. And I was looking at the train prices from London to Liverpool and back again. I was like, I could actually fly to Spain, have a few days in Spain and fly back for the same price. It's absolutely madness. So now, if the wife can't go with the kids and all that, I'm probably just going to get a coach and sit on a coach for 7 hours. So, yeah.
Well,
Frank will have to give me a shoulder massage when I get there because I'll be tired. You know.
Yeah.
No, that's why I want you to come on. You should give me a shoulder massage.
I'll get you tickets and get you around the museum.
Well, listen, is anyone going the Legends game Saturday?
I was meant to be going. I got a ticket, but unfortunately, something's come up in the family, so I can't go Saturday.
Do you know what? That's a shame, that, because Yari Litmanen's playing, who we were talking about before.
Yari's Stevie's there as well, isn't he?
They're great games. Then the young kids can go and watch them. It's brilliant. You get a lot of youngsters there with the families.
And Thingy's going to be the manager, ain't he? Which I absolutely love.
Oh, yeah.
Sven to be the manager.
That's great.
Yeah,
it'd be a great occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can't get over that, you know what I mean? Well, what do you think? Get Jota, Trent, Ebou and Curtis back, and we are ready for this running. And, you know, I think we've said that. We've discussed that.
Yeah, we should be 5 points ahead now.
Jota, I think if Jota played against City, we win that game, by the way.
Yeah. And United.
Yeah, definitely.
But what about this, Colin Sykes? He's a new lad. He's coming on there.
Colin's over from
you know Colin.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying before. I couldn't believe my ears listening to him. It was ridiculous.
Well, whether it's verbal gymnastics as well. Yeah, and it is. As he says, it's corrupt.
It's corrupt.
Hopefully, it will come out one day, but it won't come out today. And that's the problem with this.
With that much money in the football, there's going to be corruption. Simple as that.
Yeah,
billions and billions of pounds just floating around in Premier League football. When there's that much money, we have to say.
Howard Webb spends time over in the Middle East as well, a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Norman says some of our passing at times in the second half was brilliant, and it was. Just after every chance we missed, they got a bit of wind, and we did as well, you know.
Yeah, they couldn't get the ball off us. They couldn't get the ball off us. We just outpassed them and just couldn't put it in the net.
Yeah, they look like Man United looked like they gave up. They looked
It
like
was
they
embarrassing.
gave up.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah,
The golfing class.
and then
The golfing class between Liverpool and United, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And to lose 4-3 was so gutting.
Well, would you agree with Gina here? Because she says it looked like we thought we were in a training session. We believed we had it in the bag at 2-1. We all knew it wasn't enough.
I do think players, sometimes when it's too easy, you get complacent. Sometimes when it was too easy. You know, it was like a training session. It's like watching Inside Liverpool on YouTube. You know, the training sessions they do on there. It was like that. And I couldn't believe it when I was watching it. We had 15 minutes, I believe, in that second half, where we're just knocking the ball back. And United, they weren't even pressing. They weren't defending. But it looked like Liverpool finding it too easy. And when you find things too easy sometimes as a professional footballer, you get a little bit complacent. And I think that's what happened with the boys. They found it too easy and got complacent. And the problem is, when that's going through your mind and the opposition take advantage of it and score, it's very difficult then to get back into normal mode. It's very hard to get back into normal mode. So, it's I think Gene's right there. I think we found it too easy and got a little complacent. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? You know, the way we've gone from, you know, being this season, I'm talking about, lads, and those injuries. Remember the season before and those injuries, and we had the likes of Kabak and we bought a Davis fella. Remember him? Did he ever put a pair of boots on?
He never played.
It was shocking. It was shocking. You know, Nat Phillips. You know, he did his best for us. That lad at the back. That's how bad we were, depth-wise. Yeah. And now we've got, as everybody's saying.
Our depth is not an issue, I don't think. We got big depth.
No, not now.
No, back then, But the problem is, our injuries were to our squad and our depth, and we're just running out of players. That was the unfortunate thing. But listen, Frank, I've got to run, man, because the wife's made dinner. You can't leave a wife.
Jamie,
you know what I mean?
Jamie,
great to see you, Jamie. Lovely to see you, mate. Yeah, thanks for everything.
And you.
Thank you,
so
Jamie.
guys, don't forget, before I go and hit the like button. Hit that like button. It's right underneath the video. It's a fun button. It's free to do. Costs you nothing. Also, share the video, put it on your socials, you know, and subscribe as well. And also, Georgie's book. Make sure you go on Amazon. Check it out. It's the Last Shankly Boy, is it, or something like that? I can't remember.
The Last Shankly Boy.
The Last Shankly Boy. There it is. The Lost Shankly Boy. Go on Amazon, guys. It's a great read. I got it myself. Go and check it out. And when I come to Liverpool next, I'll make sure I get George to sign it. But
we'll definitely meet up for a pint. That's for sure. Yeah,
definitely. Big up, guys. Make sure you go and do the right thing.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
I'll see you later, guys. Much love. Bye bye.
Later. Ciao.
What a man.
What a fella he is, isn't he? He's lovely. He's a lovely fella. But
he should live in Liverpool, shouldn't he? Get to Anfield every week.
Oh, yeah.
Shame.
He's Liverpool. I'm not saying Liverpool mad, but he knows the score.
Yeah, he's got great knowledge about the club. Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell you what, he loves the city, you know. He loves the city.
Yeah.
He loves the city.
Who couldn't love Liverpool, Frank, eh? Who couldn't love Liverpool, man?
Exactly. Well, if Kenny can stay and you can stay and Anson can stay and everybody else can stay.
We never leave. We're never leaving our hearts. Never leaving our hearts.
This is it, George. And Gene says, love Jamie, 100% and a big heart. We all love him, to be honest. Oh, yeah, look, Darryl says, George, I'm coming up for the Sheffield United game. Fancy a pint?
Yeah, no problem, Darryl. No problem, mate. Yeah, if we can fix it.
And Oh yeah, look, Anfield also. I've got George's book, fantastic read. On to Mario's next. Marios's. On to Marios. I've got to show this, haven't I, lads? I've got to.
Yeah, we'll have to get him back on the chat. Yeah, it's a great book. Why Jurgen Klopp was right for Liverpool.
It's unbelievable. It was a great night, wasn't it, that night, George, when
Fabulous
I
night.
went
Yeah.
to give a little talk, and we went over then and had a few sherbets.
Funny enough,
Really
I'm going to the launch of Tommy Lawrence's autobiography on Monday. A media event on Monday, and then the big one at 5th of April. Peter Kenny Jones has written it, called The Sweeper Keeper. Flying Pig, Tommy Lawrence. That should be a great.
And do you know what I said to Tommy? I said, that nickname you had, the Flying Pig, how did you feel about that? He said it was all right.
Yeah.
Just accept the Flying Pig.
The best thing recently is when he got stopped in the street by that reporter. That was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, George.
Brilliant. His son told me, he said, when he come in at night, he said, you had a good day, Dad? Tommy said, nothing much happened. I met this guy outside Marks and Spencer's. He said, he asked me about playing in the derby, and he never hardly mentioned it. And 6 o'clock news came on, and it was on the news. Next minute, there was about 4 million views on Twitter. It was all over the world. It was such a lovely occasion, a lovely moment.
With his little flat cap on.
Yeah.
He must have said, I'll get the shell fella and ask him. And it was Tommy, and when he just said, I played in it.
We lost 1-0. Alan Ball scored.
Unbelievable. Absolutely amazing.
What a man.
Such a sweetheart, and even Norman says, I've got George's book last year.
Yeah, I've had wonderful letters from all over the world. It's been marvellous.
And Ian McHale, I knew when we kept missing chance after chance or 2-1, the sting in the tail was waiting for us. 1999 he visited. Pissed me off, to be honest. Pissed everybody off, to be honest. It really did.
Yeah.
And JK needs to write a book, The Invisible Boy.
I have, but
he's called you a boy.
No,
man, a boy.
I wrote one, but you can't see it. So
he doesn't know if you're a boy. Nobody's ever seen you.
Oh yeah, well, he's got humour as well. JK's is full of humour.
Oh yeah, I'll be happy.
And you can't see it.
Looks like a Martian on that picture.
Oh, absolutely. Where did Lee go? Lee Carlson? Where did he go?
I don't know. I think he got the link.
Of course he did. I think he did. Well, he would have been on here, wouldn't he? But I think he came on as that Neville girl. I think he changed his name and come on as that, whatever the name is. And the lovely Lisa says, that's one of my favourite clips ever. The one with Tommy Lawrence.
Yeah, he was like all these guys. He was a fantastic man, fantastic character. All these great players from that era were brilliant lads.
What about this? What Anfield Road says, apparently West Ham fans have bought accommodation in Dublin. But to be honest, you have to do that in these times.
Well, I'd be more confident of going there if I was a Liverpool fan than a West Ham fan.
Well, I got a phone call the other day of a lad named Noel, and I did something for him a couple of years ago. From Liverpool over to Dublin, sent him some stuff over, and he phoned me up. He said, listen, he said, if you ever want to come over to Dublin. And then his brother phoned me up and he said, I think we'll get there, My home is open for you, Frank, for what you've done for us
Oh, there you go.
in Dublin. And tickets.
Yeah, but even if you don't see the game, just to be there in the atmosphere. If you look at the fan parks are fantastic. The atmosphere, Jamie Webster singing, and it's a great thing just to be in Ireland, drinking your Guinness outside the ground if you can't get in. I mean, and then if we win, you're all there. You're in the middle of the city, aren't you? So I mean, great to be in, but you can watch it in a pub over in Dublin, just to get the atmosphere.
Fosey says there, Fosey's well, JK, you ruined me, bro.
We have to get him on Fozzy as well.
Yeah, well, I was on a show today,
Yeah, you were saying, yeah.
Do you know what? Honestly, I just thought that it was I thought he was saying about, a few people that I know, going back a few years ago. And I thought he phoned me up just for a little chat to see how it was and, how's everything going. And I said, yeah, I'm free, no problem. And the next on the podcast, hello.
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast, so funny, but brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, lovely lad he is. Got to say that.
Yeah, I can get him on.
Yeah. That Tommy Lawrence clip was fantastic. The look on his face was priceless. What a guy, says Ian McHale. Yes. And Gene says, what got me, I listened to a Manchester United supporter before the game. He thought we were going to kill them, but he hoped Ahmed would come with the dagger. And he did.
Yeah, I've seen that video. There was a guy outside Old Trafford like 5 hours before the game. And he was just sitting there saying, our mission today is to mess up their quadruple. Like, I was like, who the hell is this guy, They were on it on Sunday. Their fans, all of them, their mission was to destroy our quadruple chance, And that's why I think that league game there is going to be a nice one, I just feel, okay, you can have this one. We'll take the other one then.
Yeah, we need to win that.
Yeah.
But how do you think, like, all right, see, I can't get over last Thursday, and I was a dead rubber. It was a dead rubber, and, but it's just one of those things. And, I think we can all look with hindsight and say he did wrong. But I thought he did. When I seen the team and when I seen Virgil coming on, I thought, oh, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
Because he get, injured. Anyway,
he didn't need to play any of them, did he? He didn't need to play any of them because 5-1 up, we could have played the under-21s, really.
No. And there's, he's got a good point, Fozzy's World. I'll get to it in a moment because Neil Broderick says, imagine if Rangers would have made it to the Europa final versus Liverpool. That would be massive headache for the organisation, and it would have been those Rangers supporters.
Yeah, and the Celtic supporters. Do you remember when they came down to Anfield in the 60s?
Oh.
Behind the goal, Jock Stein and Shankly came out and told them, stop throwing the bottles onto the pitch. I mean, it was pandemonium.
And do you know what? Though you mentioned two men there, Jock Stein and Bill Shankly, and they were the most revered men in football. I'm talking about here in England. Which the Shanks.
Or in Britain, yeah.
I'm talking about Jock Stein in Glasgow. Here in Liverpool and there in Glasgow. And they did take notice of them.
They did. They stopped.
The fans took notice of them.
Yeah.
And but you don't get that today.
Sadly, the internet stopped all that.
All we're getting now is the social media, as you said. And remember, it used to be banter. Remember that, George? It used to be banter.
Oh, yeah. Banter. Yeah.
But now it's become hatred.
Yeah.
And that's why it's changed so much.
Yeah,
That's what we.
You need to try your best to show respect for the opposition, but sadly, a lot of people don't think that way.
Yeah. Someone's put that up. Oh, that's you, that, isn't it, JK?
NFC red for every
Yeah, for Fozzie, subscribe to the guy, top guy, proper red. I'll put the links in the chat for everyone.
Yeah, for Fozy. I've just got to go on to this one. Can I just add this, lads? And it's the K-Max channel. Anyone wants to go on to K-Max there. And also Jamie Phillips. Jamie Phillips channel. Absolutely. Can I just do these a minute? The Social one by Marios. And look at all them. Jeff Goulding.
He's writing another one. Yeah.
What's he like though, George? Jeff Goulding.
He's writing another one that's going to be the biggest of them all, and it's going to be published at the end of this season about Klopp.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going for a meal with him on Friday night and Saturday night, and it's going to be a big book.
I'll tell him I was asking about him. I love the man, you know.
Yeah.
He's a lovely man.
Wonderful writer.
And there's some fella there, the lost Shankly boy, George Scott Sanfield. Yeah. Do you know what, George? Remember that comment? And I put that up, and a comment came up and said, "The lost Shankly boy is lost no more. Frank's found him." I thought that I'll never forget that. That's resonated with me. You know, it was the way it was said. Brilliant it was.
Found him under the stone.
Absolutely. And look at this. The voice of Anfield. Cracking man.
He'll be there next Monday.
Was he there as well?
Yeah, he'll be there next Monday. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. And you know what? I just love that photograph, you know.
It's great, isn't it?
I just love it simply because it just says that we had dreams and songs to sing.
Well, we have had dreams and songs to sing, haven't we, for years?
For years, George, for years. And it fills you with pride, doesn't it? Everything fills us with pride, just being a red. Just being
who's the poet, Frank? Who's that poet you know? Dave.
Kirby.
Dave Kirby. He writes very emotive poetry about Liverpool.
Oh.
Sometimes it brings tears to my eyes. Listen, in his voice, when he recites them and reads them, he sends shivers down your spine.
One of our, relatives, and he's a smashing fella. And he's just one of these lads who, breeds Liverpool, like we all do. And this is the point about, Liverpool fan, everyone. I've always embraced every fan.
When you think, what a history we've got, what a history. Oh. It's all in that book. But I mean, it's great to tabulate it and put it down in print because, people now don't really realize how it all started, how it developed, where it came from, all the key players, right through the years, coming right up from Shankly, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish, all these great players that have played for us, put the red shirt on, and the fans of different generations in the Kop, it's wonderful, wonderful.
And when you see football today, George, the way that money is sort of ruining the game, like players' wages compared to nurses and say emergency helpers, for example. Also, like the way fans are with social media, for example. I think for me, maybe the biggest problem in football, social media and football. The way people behave and stuff. I think they sort of need to tone it down a bit. It's a game of football. It's not life and death. But But I just feel that I've always said that the way they've destroyed Hollywood and the way they've destroyed the music industries over the last few decades, they're doing the same with football now. Because like people love football, people love films, people love music, and they're doing that now with football. You know, look at the VAR's refereeing decisions. That's another reason why they're destroying football. You know.
Yeah, it's
Well,
changed.
look, it's going to get worse, don't you think, next season?
Yes.
Is it next season that the sin bin's coming in? What's that all about?
I can't see that happening, Frank. I don't think it'll happen. I think the managers will veto that. I can't see that
I
happening.
hope not.
Imagine a player sitting for 10 minutes getting cold, then coming back on again.
Yeah.
Pull your muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already messing around with a new offside rule now. Did you hear about that today?
No.
It's sort of you can be ahead of the guy, but part of the guy's body has to be sort of in line with yours. So if you're really in front of him, where there's no where your body's behind is, then you are offside. And I said that if something's not broke, why are you trying to fix it again? You know, I think for me, get two linesmen on each side who are about 25 years old. You know. Maybe, well, for me, get rid of VAR. I think we're going to have a show on this soon where we're going to talk about VAR and how it's taken the enjoyment of football away. Like Frank said it a loads of times, and the first 5 seconds or 3 seconds is why you go to football. You know, I think fans need to really seriously talk about VAR and what should we do with it.
But it won't go to the fans, though. It will not go to the fans. You know, we haven't got a say in the matter. And that's the most unfortunate thing. You know, we all moan about it, which is, you know, right. It's like what I said before. You watch a game and say like it's me, you and George, and we're walking out the game, we're going to the pub. And, you know, I'd say, for example, that was offside, that. George would say, no, it wasn't, you know.
Exactly.
It was offside.
That's how it used to be.
That's the way it is. We can't do it anymore.
No. You're absolutely right there, Frank. I mean, when I played, and even after I played, you played the game, you had 2 linesmen, you had a referee, they made the decisions. The linesman put his flag up, it was offside. Like you say, after the game, I'd argue with you, you'd argue with me, we'd have a pint, we'd have a laugh. And that would be it. But the game's over, and the fans knew they could celebrate when the ball went in the net. They can't celebrate now. There was an effort at West Ham, 5 minutes and 28 seconds to come up with a decision. West Ham game on Saturday. Did you see that? 5 minutes. Can you imagine the crowd is waiting, the managers are waiting.
Yeah.
But if the referee just given a goal or not given a goal, that's it. You get on with the game.
Well, you know, George, when you look at this season, for example, the amount of hamstring injuries that are going up, hanging around 3-4 minutes here, 5 minutes here, you know, it's ridiculous. And with the sin bins option, is like, who are these people who are making these decisions?
You're right.
Blue card. We're even talking about a blue card. Come on, man. It's like, it's seriously. And that's why I feel that VAR might be a reason why players are getting more injured this season, for example.
Well, the offside rule is a joke because they put the flag up about 3 minutes after the offside. You know,
exactly.
An obvious offside, and the linesman keeps his flag down. The keeper eventually gets the ball, and his flag goes up.
No one's got injured yet, but imagine someone goes in. Okay, it's an offside. The linesman knows it's offside. The guy goes in on the goalie, sort of might even break his leg.
Yeah.
Offside flag comes up. It's like, come on, you got to. They talk about being secure and safe in games and stuff. For me, that offside rule there,
it's shocking.
That is the main way you can get injured. That is.
Yeah, and it is. It is. Philip Idswell says, I don't think Diaz will be sold unless it's 1 or 2 reasons, and they are the new manager don't want him, or Madrid or Barca comes with an offer we can't refuse. Hey George, do you want Diaz to stay? Be honest.
Yes, 100%. 100%. I mean, a lot of this is paper talk, media buzz, trying to get clicks. You know, I mean, Diaz is a wonderful player. He's a big part of what we're achieving at the moment, as is Jota, as is Nunes, as is all of them. Why did we sell any of them? Why did we sell any of them? I can't see any reason to sell any of these players. They're top, well, they've been top of the league most of the season, and we're top equal at the moment. And we're probably going to win the league. So why did we sell players? I don't understand it. It's a press. They want stories. Agents want stories. Agents push things. You know, where could they go that's any better than Liverpool? I've said this many. The only one that's done better away from Liverpool is Suarez. Not better, but at least it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anybody else, really. Torres didn't when he left. Coutinho didn't when he left. All of them.
Every one of them. Every single one of them who left. Look at Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum was brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
And he went. And what happened to him? He only had a few games for their PSG. And the next, he was out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And he never ever recovered from that. Even Jordan Henderson, when he went over there to Saudi.
Yeah, it collapsed. You know, well, he was coming to the end of his career, to be fair, I suppose. But I mean, you know, it's I don't see why any of these players, like you mentioned, Diaz, Nunes, Salah, keep him as long as they're prepared to stay, unless they don't perform. And if they're not performing, that's different. But they're all performing at the moment.
Well, the Anfield Road series, which we left out there, Mascherano did okay. I loved him.
He was a fantastic player, Mascherano. He did okay. He's right, but he did better at Liverpool. He was fantastic. Him and Alonso.
Yeah.
They were great together, weren't they?
The Ziyech did well, though, didn't he? He went to Real Madrid, won a European Cup.
Yeah, he did. He did well. He's right. Anfield Road's right. He did well.
He did great.
Fantastic player.
If we get to Dublin, I'm flying into Belfast on the Monday and return Friday. What you save in flights will pay for a hotel. And Ange wants to visit the Titanic. Oh, that's his lovely wife, Angela.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
She hasn't been too well. She hasn't been too well, unfortunately. But she's well on the road to recovery. Wants to visit the Titanic Museum in Belfast. So kill two birds with one stone. Absolutely. Look, keep it real. Look, he's just come on now. Not having you on anymore. Keep it real. We want you to unsubscribe. Agreed, George and Frank. It's the same kind of talk we heard last summer. Let's cash in for Salah. Yeah. 200 million. Behave. Yeah. Again. And no, we want to keep our world-class players, not weaken the team. And That's the problem. That is the problem. Look, remember, they wanted to sell Virgil. And I was talking to Fozzie today about, like different generations of fans. And, people who looked at Virgil last season, he just got over a bad injury that could have ruined his career. Yeah. Only he's got the strength, he's a strong man, is Virgil. That could have ruined his career. But Pitt.
Oh, yeah, could have done.
And, he came back, and look at him now. But, the fans wanted to sell him, remember? Oh, get rid of him, he's finished. Salah's finished. Salah's just broke another record.
He get 20 goals, yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so frustrating. And you can't talk to them because they're invisible.
Yeah.
I think they've read JK's book.
The Invisible Book, yeah. No, some fans. Every club's got them, Frank. Keyboard warriors. Every club's got them,
But as the Anfield Road says, a great Frank and George, don't sell. Add to this great side.
Of course.
They're
all young. Most of the team's young.
Of course.
Even Trent's only 24.
What's happening then, everyone? You got yet? Keep it real, says. Have I missed anything good? You've missed loads.
I'm still alive. That's the main thing.
We had Phil Neal on before. We had Jan Mulvey, and who made a very special appearance, was Alan Hansen. So that's who you've missed. Keep it real.
Do you remember, Frank? Do you remember Jan Mulby when Bob Paisley shouted to him, "Get warmed up, Jan! You're coming off."
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he was so laid back,
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
That's a good one.
That's
Oh, that's a good one.
I didn't mean it like he was just shouting,
Judge.
He was so
So
laid
that
back.
story about when Alvaro Smith got injured.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Please say that. Wait till we had Brian to the stage. Listen to this, keeper. Okay. Listen, you've got to listen to this story. And it was a lad named Alvaro Smith.
When we were playing Sunderland, and I was sat just behind the players' entrance, the bandbox. I was sat by the trainer's tunnel, and Tommy Lawrence bounced the ball and kicked it high up into the air, and Alfie Smith ran up and jumped to head it, and Charlie Hurley jumped to head it alongside him, and they clashed heads, and they went down on the ground like a battle of bricks. And Hurley managed to recover quite quickly. He trotted off into the night, and Shankly's getting very agitated because Alfie's not moving. He's lying on the ground, not moving. Bob goes on with that little limp. He limps along, and he takes his smelling salts in his bottle of water, puts the smelling salts under Alfie's nose. Nothing's happening. Shankly's getting more and more agitated. He's going forward, back and forward. And he shouts to Bob. He says, "Is the boy going to be able to continue? Is he okay, Bob?" And Bob turns round to Shankly and says, "No, boss, he doesn't know who he is." He says, "Tell him he's Pelé." Because there was no substitutes, so Shankly was worried if he had to come off at half time, he'd have to play with 10 men.
That's
genuine.
One of the best
I had
stories.
it with my own. I was sat next to Shankly, just behind his shoulder. Tell him it's Pelé.
He doesn't know who he is. Tell him he's Pelé.
Shankly had great humour, I tell you.
You can't get any better than Shankly, can you? You just cannot get any better than that man and Bob Paisley. Paisley. And, you've even got a statue, haven't you, of Bob and Emlyn Hughes when he's carrying. Was that game?
Yeah, remember that? With blood coming down his knee. Yeah. Yeah.
It's... But our lovely Jane says, Mascherano was my little pit bull. He just needed Enzo's mouth guard. I think we'll all have to get curly wigs and gum shields. What do you think? What do you think, keepers? Is he there? Is he gone?
Who's that?
Brian.
Oh, you told me. I said keep it real there, Frank. Sorry, I thought you were talking to me. Okay, yeah. Hi, George. How are you, JK?
Recognize that voice? Yeah, I recognize that voice.
How you doing, Brian, bro?
Yeah, very good. Thanks for being out there. Yeah, I was just trying to. George had helped me out there because when you said Emlyn Hughes, his nickname came into my head, but I can't remember. When something's on the tip of your tongue, Emlyn Hughes' nickname, like something like that.
Oh, what was it?
What did he call him?
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse. Yeah, I was thinking the Lone Ranger. I had the Lone Ranger in my head. I know that image. Yeah, Emlyn Hughes. What a player.
And the mighty Emlyn as well.
Yeah.
You'll not see nothing like the mighty Emlyn.
Yeah, brilliant.
Unbelievable.
I might be going a bit bald on top, Frank, but I'm not quite at the Scouse Week stage yet. So,
wish I could say the same.
I'm not. Don't worry, George. I won't be long behind you, man. I won't be long behind you.
I did have here, though. You can see by the picture on my book.
The someone says, evening, Brian. Evening.
Evening.
Anyway, dear Broderick says, yeah, I'll talk to you there, Brian, just go straight on to you there. It's a tough one with Mo, obviously, his age and money. We would get for this summer will probably be the last chance you'll have to cash in for big bucks. I haven't got a problem as long as every penny is invested in younger recruitment. Nothing lasts forever. I know Neil. I know Neil. He's a friend of mine. His wife's a friend of mine. But I'm going to disagree with him there. I don't think that we should cash in on Mo. I really don't. What do you think?
Well, we're not going to lose any money on him, are we? Because we only paid about, how much did we pay? 30 million? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't very much, was it? So he's repaid that in big bucks 100 times over, so we can't lose on that. But I can see what Neil's saying in a way, because he's got 1 year left on his contract. And, if he plays the contract down and plays for us next year, he will leave for nothing, which is a lot of money that Liverpool could have got that they won't get. So there's a bit of a dilemma there. But at the end of the day, it's up to Mo. It's not up to the club. Yeah, if he decides he wants to stay for another 12 months and go for nothing, that's his decision.
Yeah,
they can't change that. They can't force him out.
But I want him to. Yeah, exactly. I want him to finish his career here.
I do as well. I'd love to see him finish his career here. It would be great, wouldn't it? What a legend.
Absolutely. So they're all saying about your little tale there. I thought that was one of the funniest thing. Look, he's getting off. Look, Daryl. Mighty Frank, George, and the Invisible.
Well, mate.
Read my Invisible book.
Yeah,
before you go to bed.
He's got to bring it to bed and read it, or try to read it. There's no need to have the lights on trying to read that invisible book, though, is there? We were saying there before, Brian, do you reckon that, look, Steve LFC, Mo could go on until he in his late 30s at Liverpool, but wages might be an issue as he gets older. What do you think of that comment there?
They'll be getting a lot of wages off the bill, won't they? Because Thiago will be going, Matip will be going, and a few others. So there'll be a lot of money being released this year from the wage bill. I'd love to see him stay until his late 30s. He's very, very fit. I mean, he's one of the fittest athletes I've ever seen. I mean, he lives good, he eats good, he trains hard, and he can play till he's about 37, 38.
I think so as well. There's Ryan Giggs. He was playing till he was 38, 39.
Exactly, yeah. Similar sort of player.
Still playing well. And I think Mo Salah is a lot more fitter than him. And,
I don't think
he's not just a goal scorer as well. He's had lots of assists, Salah.
Unbelievable so,
I mean,
unbelievably so. What did you say, Brian?
I'm with you. I'm with, I know the chap there, Neil, was making a really good point in terms of how it's a tough one. And I don't think not in terms of maybe decision, but the fact that it's coming down to 1 year left on his deal. He is at that age. He could actually be getting a really big offer from somewhere. You've got a new manager. And it kind of tends to look like it might fall that way, where he might go. I don't want to see a man like that that's proven consistently, even in his bad, inverted commas, bad seasons, comes up with 15, 16 goals, 12 assists. It's only when you lose a player like that you realize how much you've lost. So if you can keep, I know, look, someone might say from Saudi 120 million or 150 million. And I suppose if something like that, from these businessmen point of view, they're going to look at that and they're going to have to think about it. But as the man said, as long as every penny of that goes right back into it, that's worst case scenario. But for me, someone like Mo is not, look, no player is irreplaceable. But those goals, those assists, his fitness level, like you've been saying, I'd rather give him another 1-year extension or a 2-year extension than cash in on him, because yeah, you don't know what you've got till you're gone a lot of the times. But this guy, I think, has easily 2 years left, like this season, and then another 2 seasons left at the top. So if we can keep him here for that, would that be worth? Like, we've seen people get 100 million for Gareth Bale. You spend it on the wrong player. You get 100 million or 200 million for Neymar. Spend it on the wrong player. You know, I'd keep him not at all costs, but if you're say to me, number one priority, give him another 2 years and just keep him along, because undoubted quality. Look at the numbers he's put up. The guy he's up there. So
he's up there. Yeah.
Keep him. Keep him.
Go on.
Yeah.
Frank loves
No, if he wants to
Salah.
go, Frank, just if Frank, like the guy said, but if he wants to go, and he said, look, Klopp is leaving, you know, stories ending at the same time, you know, this kind of thing, maybe, you know, will come to an end at the same time. Okay, maybe if he wants to go, then we'll live with it. But let's take the money. But for me personally, I want him to stay for another 2 years and be the transition into the next Liverpool team. He'd be a constant in that. That's what I'd rather see, because those goals and assists are not going anywhere tomorrow. He'll go somewhere else and score.
Exactly. That's it.
Back in the Champions League next year as well. Back in the Champions League, you want to have a go at that, I should think.
Yeah.
Me as well. Yeah.
Mo Salah, you've got to understand that he loves the city. He's well respected in the city. His wife and children love the city. He's happy here. He loves the club. He loves the camaraderie with the players.
And
Players look up to him, especially the youngsters. And I think, you know, if he doesn't want to go, let him stay, because, you know, can I just go? I'll just, you know, there's a few comments there which were very good, actually. And as Ian McKay, just let me go through a couple here. Mo has the physique and fitness of someone in their mid-20s, got another few years at the very top level, so we can win more top trophies here at Liverpool. And keep it real, says with Edwards back, he doesn't like keeping players who are in their 30s. Can see a couple probably being moved on, and carries on by saying, do you guys think Edwards may look to sell Robbo while we can still get a decent enough fee for him? Straight to you, Joe.
Well, it's the same situation that exists. I mean, if Robbo doesn't want to go, he won't go. The club can't force him out. The club can't get rid of him, you know. I mean, how old is Robbo now? Is he 30 yet?
Yeah, he's 30. He'll be 31 by the time, you know, the season. He'll be going on.
He's not playing with the pomp that he did a year or so ago after that injury. I think that's just knocked him off a bit. But I'm a great admirer of Robertson. I think he's a fantastic fullback. The number of assists he's made, along with Trent, in the last year or two has been amazing. I don't think Edwards will be forcing anybody out. I mean, I can't see how you can force people out. It's not how football works.
No, you're right.
All the power is with the players. All the power is with the players now. Yeah. They've got the contracts. They've got the agents. They can push for a move. But what can the club do? Can't club say, Robbo, you're going? Like in my day, they could do that. My day, they could just cancel your contract at the end of the year because you were a servant to the club, a slave to the club. You know, and then when they got freedom of contract, the footballers, they roll the roost now. That's why it's harder for the managers, because the footballers have got so much power.
Well, as Gene says, as long as Mo adapts his game, then yes, he could go on to play until his late 30s, but he has got to adapt his game.
Well, remember Ian Callaghan did, Frank, didn't he? Callaghan was a fast right winger. And he played with Liverpool for 17 years, and he played 858 games, and he became a midfielder. You know, and it was the same with Ray Kennedy. Ray Kennedy be converted into midfield. So Mo can assist goals as well as score them. So he could well go down the same path.
I think
Yeah.
I really believe though that Mo wants to stay, and we will sell players. And I
Yeah.
think there'll be a couple of surprises as well. And I wouldn't. I'm going to say it anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if either Gravenberg or the other fella goes Gakpo.
Yeah.
What they normally do, Frank, they normally say we're willing to listen to offers for. They'll make a statement. We're willing to listen to offers for Gravenberch, for Robertson, for Matip, and let other clubs come along and see how much they offer. That's how they do it.
Yeah, true enough. And as Anfield Ross says, great point, Brian. Also, as Frank knows, Mo loves Liverpool. He is our little Scouse Egyptian. I want him to retire at our club. Great role. That's another thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Role model.
Yeah.
He's a
Yes.
role model.
The young lads.
That's what I was trying to say before about him. These young kids look up to him.
Yeah, all the young lads will look up to him, without a
And have
doubt.
you noticed at the ends of every game, lads, the ends of every game, the opposing players all go up to him, wanting his shirt.
I think his shirt, yeah.
And he just goes, he either shakes his head and points that I've already promised them over there.
That's right, yeah. Sign of
And
greatness.
that's so it's not just us, it's opposing players. And we were talking before, Brian, about the game against Man U. And when he came off, it must have given them a hell of a lift.
Yeah.
It does every time, and it
Yeah.
does the opposite when he comes on the pitch. This is what, like, you don't keep a player till he's too old, but this is a guy who's still producing, still, like you said, strikes fear into the hearts of people, or gives them a lift when he goes off a pitch. Benzema, Lewandowski, Modric,
Yes.
the best. I'm not saying every player can do it till they're 38. Obviously, they can. But like you said, the way he lives his life, the way he conducts himself, the way all these boys do now. You see him in training camps on their
Yes.
holidays. They're going to fitness training camps when they're on holidays. And him showing off his six pack. He's not some like 40 is the new 30. He's a 27-year-old from the 80s. In the 80s, the 90s, he's got the body and the physique and the fitness of a 27-year-old.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I don't see us any gain in getting rid of this guy. I just see him, like you're saying, what a role model for players coming in. We used to say James Milner. Everyone used to look up to Milner, his fitness levels. I really can't see any point in, look, 150 from Saudi. Okay, right. That makes a conversation. But 2 more years, man. 2 more years out of Mo, and he'll still be performing. He really will be. The Robbo thing, I think, is interesting. I think because, like you mentioned, he isn't the old Robbo. Like George said, he isn't like when we had Trent and Robbo bombing down the wings. That we saw it a little bit against Man United. I thought that was really kind of back, like Robbo getting involved, crossing the ball, and it was more like, oh yeah, remember when Robbo used to do that 10 times a game? We're asking him to play this new reserved system, so maybe he might have, a new future because new manager, clean slate for everyone. And I'm with you, Frank. I think the two guys that may be the most under a microscope for a new manager, Gakpo and Gravenberch.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, well, Justin F. Anti says the one I wouldn't sell is Virgil,
No.
and you can't even contemplate selling him. You
He's
can't
immense,
contemplate selling Salah. You just can't contemplate selling them. And Steve LFC, do you all think Edwards will offer Trent, Virgil, and Salah big contracts? I'm sure we have the second or third highest wage bill. Yep. And Anfield or Samikas will be first choice and Robbo will be a great backup. That's what he thinks.
Well, it's a squad game now, isn't it, anyway?
Yeah, it is. It is.
With injuries.
Darrell says, Virgil and Trent sign new deals, Mo goes with Jurgen. And,
He's finished my book then.
Justin says, also agree about Robbo, even if Gomez takes his place or whatever, I need him to be there still. Now, you can see the passion in Roberts.
That's what I like.
The passion's there. And he just shouts all the time, doesn't he? And when he makes a mistake, very rare makes mistakes, but when he does, you can see him angry with himself. Robbo.
When you think he cost us 8 million.
8 million quid. And Jake Whittaker. All right, Frank, reckon we could go on from 4 to a 3 at the back and put an extra body in midfield and go 3-4-3. What do you think of that, George?
It's always good to have the midfield strong, you know. And we've done that a few times this year already, haven't we, really, when Trent's moved forward, you know, left 3 at the back. But, you know, I don't know. It's I think the way we played this year has proved to be the right way because we're top of the league.
Well, if you look at it as well, you know, 4 in midfield, you've got Szoboszlai, you've got McAllister, you've got Endo.
And Jones.
And with Curtis Jones being fit, or Trent, because I think Trent is the best passer by a long chalk in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Because he can pass a short ball and a long ball. And when he passes the long balls, he reminds me of Steven Gerrard. He just puts it anywhere on the field. Incredible.
It was quite interesting on Sunday that he played Gomez at right back, Frank, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Not Bradley, because Bradley's been playing right back. All of a sudden, he left him out and put
Why
Gomez.
Was that?
I said he put Gomez at right back and he didn't play Bradley, and that's the first time Bradley hasn't started. So I'm thinking when Trent comes back, he may well go back into right back, maybe give Bradley a rest. But I was surprised he didn't play him.
Well, I reckon.
But then again, Gomez has got more experience, so that's probably why he played Gomez.
Well, I'll go to JK on that. I'll go to JK about the 3-4-3, what Jake Whittaker says. Jay?
Depends on the opposition. I think in that Sheffield United game at home, after the Brighton one, maybe we can experiment a little bit in that game. But I just want our players to be fit. I think formations at this very moment are sort of the last thing on our mind. I just wish when they come back from the international break that we can get our players back for every position we need. So, and we're always going to go with the standard 4-3-3 anyway with Klopp. He's never really ever changed that.
No.
That's one thing I would say I wish Klopp did a bit more, where he sort of just spruced it up a little bit, changed something, you know. I think he's always set-minded with in the way he wanted to play. It's worked. But I think sometimes he could have, even against United on Sunday, maybe did something, you know. Normally he gets his subs right. Like this season, all his substitutions have always shined in the second half, and for some reason it didn't work this time. So,
well, as the lovely Jean says, come on everyone, smash that like button for Frank and guest. Let's show our support. Thank you.
Bless you.
And Anfield Raw, funny enough, he says, Darrell Merry, oh yes, mate, I agree, we need a new left back, but selling Robbo, I can't let go. He was a great servant. And this is what people tend to forget about some of our players. I really do. Verge has to finish his career at Liverpool, says keep it real.
I think he will. He's captain now, and he's captain, big responsibility. And he relishes it, I think.
Yeah. This season, he's just stepped up like he's.
I heard him
like
in
he
the
was.
tunnel in Liverpool FC TV, inside Anfield, in the tunnel. He was saying, "Come on, lads, come on, now, let's get it."
Yeah.
Every minute. That was great
He's
to
a
see.
leader.
That. You don't often see that. They tend to just walk out now. But when I played, we used to all be buzzing everybody up in the tunnel before you went out. You know.
But again, George, with the likes of the last few games, if you know what I mean, the last few games, what you'll see is, come on, you know, and it will be that. I think that at that game, I know I hate saying these cliches, but it could have been a blessing in disguise to blow away the complacency.
Yeah.
Because they could have become too complacent in the next few games, and it could have just sank all of a sudden, if you know what I mean. Just imagine beating Man United, right? And then, oh yeah, we can beat anybody, and just throw them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, come unstuck in the 2 league games. That would have been the end of title hopes. I'm telling you now.
I don't think we'll lose. I don't think we'll lose any more games at Anfield.
No, I don't.
The only question is make sure we win them. We need the 3 points each time, not a draw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think some fans were a bit overconfident. I was 100% on Sunday. I think it was a bit of a smack in the face the way we lost that game. Brought us down back to earth, you know.
Yeah, because they're not a good team, JK. They're not a good team. Everton were better than them. They lost 2-0 and they had more shots. You know, I mean, they're not a good side. They're in a bit of chaos at the moment. They were very, very, very lucky at the weekend. Very lucky.
Yeah, because I've seen them Everton stats and even our stats. Like we had a lot of chances, you know. United give you chances, I think Klopp needs to realise that in the next game they're going to give us chances. So we've got to make sure we make them count.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Nunes put that ball across and they lost possession and they scored, that made it 3-3. So that meant Liverpool had to go for the winner. So they were going for the winner. They had a corner and they were going for it. And then Harvey, unfortunately, stood on the ball. And then it was always going to happen, a breakaway, you know, and he couldn't have brought him down.
I think if we were losing there, chuck everyone in the box, even the goalkeeper. I think because we were drawing, maybe drop someone else back. Just to be safe, you know. That's my opinion on that matter.
Yeah.
Well, Philip Birdswell says, who can offer us the same numbers as Salah?
Nobody.
And no one. You know, if we brought anybody in, no one can replace.
Maybe Haaland.
He's your favourite player now, Frank?
Sorry?
Salah? Frank Salah's your favourite now, isn't he?
Who?
Salah's everybody's favourite.
No. Who's your favourite player, Frank?
My favourite player?
Yeah, in the current team.
In the current team? Outfield player. It has to be the big man, the Verge.
Yeah.
Because he solidifies everything. And to me, he's a great leader.
He holds it all together.
Everybody collectively brings everybody together.
Yeah.
And he really does. And the players look up to him. But I'd love to say the lot of them. I really would. But when you get the leader, and Virgil is the leader, there's no one better. There's no one better than that lad. I think he's absolutely...
Funny enough, Brian, one of our best signings this year has been Endo, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thought that, did they?
No, nobody.
He's been brilliant.
Who's your favourite, Brian?
Of the current squad.
What do you think of this fella here? Well, hang on, lads. You know, breaking Amarali Ghaznavi. He comes out and says, breaking Liverpool to announce Richard Hughes as sporting director tomorrow. Right, so I'm going to go to you, Brian. This fella, Richard Hughes.
Yeah, me, the expert on sport directors. I've heard of him. I know who he is. I know he's the favorite of the guys above him. This is the thing with Edwards. Some people might be confused about what's happening. Edwards isn't coming back to do the job that he did before. This Richard Hughes guy is the guy that's going to be doing what Edwards did. You know, Edwards is going to be above him. He's been given an even bigger role.
CEO.
Yeah. So Hughes is going to be doing the kind of more he's going to be the guy that's doing transfers and all of that stuff. You know, he's the guy that's going to be important in appointing the next manager. So, I mean, I prefer back in the day when the Richard Hughes. Who knows? I don't know who these people are. It's fine. Just put them in place. If they're the best people, put them in place. Let do the job. I've never heard of him before. I know he worked for Bournemouth. If FSG think he's the right guy, Grant, get him in. I couldn't tell you, man. The first time I heard about this guy was 2 weeks ago. He was on the famous gardening leave. You know, this sounds like the best job in the world. You get paid to sit at home and do nothing. And yeah, he was Edwards' choice. And so, okay, if that's who Edwards wants, I'm fine with it. Go with it. I really couldn't speak on it either way.
I haven't a clue who he is. I haven't a clue.
I couldn't pick him out in the lineup, Frank. I couldn't.
No, I couldn't. I wouldn't recognise him if he showed me a photograph.
No,
exactly.
No, yeah.
I couldn't.
So, you know, he's an unknown quantity. And if he gets it wrong, you see, it's not FSG bringing him in, by the way, because they haven't a clue.
That's right. No, they wouldn't know.
They haven't a clue what's what. So, who's bringing him in is Edwards. That's who's bringing him
Edwards, man. Yeah, he's Edwards, man. Yeah.
He's definitely bringing him in. And if he's any good, I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. And that's the most frighteningest thing about it, in all honesty. But, you know, he could be...
the thing is, at the moment, we know where we stand, don't we? We know where we stand at the moment, Frank. It's all certainty at the moment. We've got a championship to win. We've got a team. After Klopp leaves, there's an element of uncertainty because we don't know if Yavi's coming in. We don't know if he comes in, what his methods are. We don't know this guy that's been applied as sporting director. We don't know what Edwards is going to do. So there's a whole new ballgame coming up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And even Gene, what we were saying there, you know, Gene says, given the armband of Edge, we knew that we get the best out of him. And that's absolutely true.
Yes.
Absolutely true. And Richard Hutchinson says, I thank JK, George, and LFC fans. How are you all doing? Like, comment, subscribe, share. We need our injury players. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. We need our injury players after the international break. We need to win the EPL and Europa League. Many thanks. Well, that was quick in there, wasn't it?
Very good. That's good.
No, thank you, Richard.
Where should be?
Agree with every word.
Every. Well, I got on to every word. And Darryl says McAllister 35 million is the best buy.
Brilliant.
His favourite player, I think.
He's been brilliant.
And Justin F. Ansi, he says, I've been a big fan of Bournemouth's development in the last 10 years. So
they got a nice new fun fair on the promenade.
Do you know, I had a couple of mates, like, you know, and these lads, the great sense of humour and everything. And they came up to me, one summer it was, and they said, do you fancy going over to Scarborough? I said, what for? Scarborough? It's miles away, I'm not going over there. And they went, no, we're going to go out, we're going to stay the night, and we're going on the prom. And we've got, and you know the way you look and you go, do you know what we've got? And like turning around as though anyone's listening, right? This fella, he's only little as well, and he went and said, "We've got a bouncy castle." I said, "A what?" He said, "A bouncy castle." I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "Yeah, we're going over to Scarborough. Do you want to come with it?" I said, "No, thanks." So anyway, him and this other fella, and it was like little and large, like little and large. And he gets to Bournemouth, and anyway, they blow it up. They blow it up, and there's big black patches on it. It's been wasted, right? So there's black patches on it all over the place. And whatever they were charging, whatever the kids, they were all jumping on it, all made up, they were made up. One of the thing, they never had it weighted down. Never weighted down. And all of a sudden, a gust of wind came. It was blowing away. And they were running down the street. And all the kids were still bouncing on it. And I was blowing down the street. And as they were running, all the dads and the mums, they were all running as well.
Monty Python.
Could you imagine that? Anyway, they just kept on running because I don't know what happened. And he said, all the families, all the mums and dads were after us. They would have killed us. They just kept on running until the bouncy castle stopped, Unbelievable.
Imagine health and safety, and health and safety would have a go at that.
This is it, yeah, health and safety. But the way he was telling me, stitches. But anyway, lads, we'll just take a couple of more questions. And,
horse, yeah.
Bonkers is saying Liverpool to announce a new sporting director. Yeah, so...
we know, don't we? We know
we all know now. We all know. I also rated Eddie Howe highly. I'll take him as England manager.
I don't care who the England manager is.
I'm like George. I don't support England.
No. I'm with you, Frank.
The England manager for all that I care. But Eddie Howe, I'm not being funny, is out of his depth.
Well, he's not done it in Newcastle, has he? With all the Arab money and all the big hype at the back of last season, still middle of the table, sadly for them.
Yeah.
Big club, great support.
Yeah, but him and his number two have an attitude when they're on the sidelines, if you understand my point. They're not really chilled. So
yeah, they've not moved the club forward, have they?
Yeah, I think this season they've had a few injuries, like Callum Wilson's in and out, Isaac's been in and out. Also, I feel maybe the hype and like they did in the Champions League, they won at home to PSG, but they still ended up not even getting through to the next round. So I think maybe it's like the hype train sort of slowed down, But like clubs like Newcastle, I think the rules, what they can spend, is sort of stopped them a little bit. I think if they came back in the days, say 10, 15, 12 years ago, they could have gone crazy with the money.
Yeah, that's how City got away with it, didn't they? City got away with it. They wouldn't get away with it now.
Yeah, now you can't. I think City just got in. They'll be the last ones who can do that so openly.
Well, can I just mention something? Jean, Jean, this lovely lady here. She's making T-shirts, and I'm going to show them on the Thursday show, and they're absolutely brilliant. And she said, "Would you show them on?" I said, "Of course, because I really do promote small businesses."
Yeah.
But you want to see these T-shirts? Absolutely, they are the brilliant. And it's like this fella. Look at this. Look at this. The cracker.
Cracker that.
Isn't that really good? Really and he said, he asked Francine, he said, "Was your dad's?" She said, "Yeah." That's about to buy them, like, I don't get them for nothing. That's to buy them. And I said, "Yeah, it's only to keep me warm in here, to be honest." Like, but nevertheless, and Gina's made, and I'll show them on Thursday, on the Thursday pod. It really is. And
Good to see you.
Steve LFC says, didn't Richard Hughes sign Solanke for 20 million plus? That's what frightens me.
Yeah,
That's the modern day
he didn't do
football.
much for us, but he's done well there.
Modern day football, you give people the reins. It's like Edwards and this guy now are sort of responsible for which direction our club are going. It's just these two guys. It looks like this Hughes guy, maybe because he took all our Jordan Ibe, Solanke away from us. He says later on I'll hook you up with a job at Liverpool.
And Brad
So we've
Smith.
seen that now.
Yeah.
And do you ever remember Brad Smith?
Yeah, What happened to Brad Smith? He was pretty good, actually.
7 million for him as well. He's in Canada.
Yeah. Well, he's doing the bouncy castle down at
Is he a goalkeeper?
Bay.
No, he was a left back, I think.
He was left back.
Left back.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Was he Australian? I'm sure he was Australian.
Yeah, he was,
No?
yeah. Jordan Ibe was very good when he started. When he first came in the team, he looked as if he's a real prospect. And for some reason, he just faded, didn't he? He's out of his non-league football now. He's in non-league football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Richard says Newcastle United were out of depth this season, burnt out, hype, injured players, technically out of depth, and found out this season. And you must look at the manager. I personally do not get this Richard Hughes thing. He is just a link between the academy and scouts to Edwards. Don't get it. And I agree with you there. I'm right with you 100% there on field. Because I know that Richard Hughes is a good mate of Edwards.
Yeah,
and Edwards he's not just going to concentrate on Liverpool. He's concentrating on the franchise of FSG. That's what he's doing. And Liverpool will be like, oh yeah, I'll see to that next week or next month or whatever. And that's what it's all about. And that's frightening me.
I've never seen no fans actually saying, yeah, we want this right guy from Bournemouth, really. I'm not saying like the guys from West Ham, yeah, the German guy. I've seen some fans saying, yeah, let's get him. But no one really mentioning this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling Gene, fantastic. Well, you have only sparked me even more. That's great, because of a little t-shirts. But I will be showing them on Thursday. They're absolutely brilliant. I'm not just saying that, by the way. And Jeremy Sinclair was a prospect. Now he owns a chicken shop in Birmingham.
Well, there's a lot of players like that.
But look at Brad. Brad went down there, didn't he? The great goalie. And as I said, he's got a bouncy castle along with my two mates.
Yeah, it's all about mentality. When you're a youth player in any club, that's what I like. Bobby Clark, for me, out of the young guys, he's very, because his dad's a footballer. So he's got that knowledge from his dad to go into his football career. I think a lot of youth players, maybe their dad's not even into football, the parents, so I think that mental side of the game where the youth players get more like Klopp, the way he is with the youth players, like he's gave these guys character, he's gave them prospects, he's sort of had a relationship where not one guy's come through, Trent. Actually, it was Trent who was the first guy who came through, but now all of a sudden there's 3-4 Kwanzaa's come through, Bradley's come through, and for me, Clark, another special type of player. And that's why I wish the new guy who's coming in can respect that, and look after the youth players. Because for me, you can save money because you don't have to buy a player in that position. But youth players mean something more than, say, when you keep on buying expensive signings from abroad. I think like your Gerrards, even Carragher, coming through, it sort of gives the team, like on Sunday we missed 2 Scousers in the team. I've always said that, so you need them type of players in the team.
Jaden Dan's father was a player as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that. I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
I think he's brilliant. You can see it. Do you know how you can tell his balance, his eye for the ball? Look at that. He never scored against Chelsea, but the header, the first chance he had, and when Verge headed it over and he put his head right through it, and it was only a fantastic save from the goalie, from their keeper. And I went, I like this kid. And then I seen him running around, and he looked classy.
Yeah.
A kid. He's a kid.
Full of confidence.
Oh, absolutely. And this is what I was saying the other day as well when I was talking to other people. I said, I think he's just moved above Gakpo in the pecking order. And Gakpo's slowly, going down and down in the pecking order. And he's a kid, this kid. And he showed him how to score. Remember that little chip?
Yeah.
Incredible player. I love him.
Striker's finish.
Well, listen, lads. I'm going to finish. Yeah, look, like Steve says, I was at Wembley and Chelsea was petrified of Dan's, says Steve.
Yeah, and he wasn't on for long, was he?
That season's up.
Frank, can I ask George a really quick question?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, George, right, just a really quick question, right? There's loads of questions I'd love to ask you, but really quick. In today's market, how much would Stanley Matthews be worth, and how much would Tom Finney be worth?
Stanley Matthews and who?
Tom Finney.
Oh, well, as far as Bill Shankly was concerned, Tom Finney was the greatest player of all time. He was his idol. When we used to go to reserve games in Lancashire, we used to travel up the East Lancs Road, and we used to go and play at Burnley and Bolton and Blackpool and all these stadiums. And he would take, when we went to Preston or Blackpool or Burnley, he would take the coach past Tom Finney's plumber's business. He would do a detour, make sure, and we stop outside like a tourist attraction. And he start talking about Finney. But Tom Finney, that's where Tom Finney lived. He said, Tom Finney could play in the right wing with a bloody overcoat on, still beat the fullback. He was making stupid statements like that. He loved Tom Finney. Yeah. Tom Finney now would be worth as much as Harry Kane. Put it that way. A different type of player. He'd be worth as much as Salah. Because I saw Tom Finney in Billy Little's testimonial taking Ronnie Moran to the cleaners. He only played half a game. So you might have been there, Frank. And he was going past Ronnie, left, right, outside, right. And Ronnie said to me, later on, he said, bloody hell, he said, I'm glad they didn't play against him in his prime. He was about 46. And he played half a game. And he was on the right wing. And he was very like Salah, coming inside. It's different now, of course. You've got them, the way they eat, the way they train, the pitches, the ball, the boots. It's not... But those guys were just as skillful now, Matthews and Finney, as the guys are today. They just weren't quite as quick. But the other players were on the same level as them. So their ability shone through. I'm going out for dinner on Saturday with Jeff Goulding, and also coming out with us is Johnny Wheeler's daughter. Johnny Wheeler. Frank will remember him. He was captain. Yeah. And he played for Bolton in the 1953 Cup final against Matthews. And Johnny said, the left back that played against Matthews, I forget his name, he said he didn't sleep for a year after that game because Matthews just tore him to pieces.
Destroyed him.
Matthews
And you still see
playing
the
till he
black and white
was 50.
film, don't you? You still see the black and white film of Stanley Matthews jinking, coming inside and going past them. And
Can I ask you a question, George? You know, with today's leveler, you know, the pitches like this thing behind me now.
Yeah.
How would they have fared on that? Because when you're talking about Stanley Matthews, the only time that we ever seen Stanley Matthews play, and Tom Finney, by the way, was at Wembley, where it was dry. It was like in the summer, you know, like in May or whatever. And that's where they showed the skills. Yet they showed the skills on mud. Could you imagine what they'd be like on this?
I remember seeing Matthews, very first English game I went to when I came to Liverpool. I was only 15 and I went to watch Everton, would you believe? Because Everton were playing. I was in the stand and watching Everton as a kid. And Stanley Matthews was on the right wing for Stoke City. I think it was Stoke City. He was 47.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous age. Yeah, and he was still going past the fullback, and it was a muddy pitch, Goodison. Goodison was muddy. I remember that, seeing that. I mean, I was so pleased I'd seen him play, even though he was coming to the... I mean, he was just an amazing player. Yeah, you're right, Frank. The pitches today, I mean, I would have had a field day today. I would have had an absolute field day because I was quick and I scored goals, and, you know, I was held back a little bit because of my height, I think. And I was held
when
back
you look at Liverpool...
Yeah.
Well, when you look at Liverpool, I mentioned about Emlyn Hughes, and you know there's a statue there where Bob's bringing them off, carrying them off. They were mud bats.
They were, yeah.
Could you imagine the 80s side, the 70s and 80s sides playing on this pitch here? Could you imagine Georgie Best?
Yeah.
You know,
the only pitch it was like that was Wembley. Wembley was the only pitch it was like Anfield is now.
That's what I mean. And
that's why everybody wanted to play there in the cup final, because it was like a bowling green. But every pitch, you start the season in August, it was pretty good. It was full grass. By the time it came to the end of October, it was a mud heap down the middle. The wings were all right, but the middle and the goal mouths were just... You've seen some of the pictures of Tommy Lawrence diving covered in mud. We used to come in and have a shower at half time. Not a shower, a bath at half time. Change our kit. So muddy. You never see mud now.
No, you don't. That's... I used to watch The Saint and Roger Hunt.
Yeah, mud everywhere.
Peter Thompson going down the wing, dribbling in mud. In mud.
But they'd say there was something wrong with you, wouldn't they? They'd say there was something wrong if you had no mud on your jersey coming off. You didn't work.
I used to go on the pitch with mud on my thighs. I used to take off the pitch and rub it on my thighs.
If you came off and your shirt was clean, you hadn't worked.
Had some in your pocket.
Those guys like Stanley Matthews played till he was 50. He was a vegan and a teetotaler before people even knew what vegans were. Tom Finney plays till for that. Those guys, they'd be £200 million footballers today. They would be, they talk about longevity in football today, but Matthews played for nearly 30 years. Crazy.
He was like Salah, though, was his fitness. He looked after himself,
Like Salah.
Amazing.
Like Salah. That's why Salah can play until.
Yeah, I just think Matthews.
The answer to that question, I'm 5'6".
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Shall I ask him? I'm glad
I've got a complete list of the players at Anfield in 1961 when I joined. It shows all our weight and our height. I was 10 stone 12, 5'5.5", and I grew to 5'6". I stopped growing when I was 17.
Who was the tallest, George?
The tallest, Ronnie Yates.
Big Ron.
That must have been
about 6'4". He was Virgil van Dijk of his day.
Yeah. It's true, isn't it, Bill Shankly? When he had them all dressed in red, and he had the reporters there, the journals, and he was walking around.
He told them, yeah.
He had the journalists walking. They were following the Shank show. Oh, look at him. Just like Colossus. I'm walking around.
That's what he said to the reporters. He said, "Hey boys," he said, "Big Ronnie's in the centre circle. He's got the red kit on. Go and walk around him if you can."
That's what he said. And he made him run out, didn't he, on the pitch? You know, he went, "You Colossus."
He called him a Colossus.
He's not being Hollywood. Look about something on.
Oh, he's
Oh,
fantastic.
what a man that fella was. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him. Honestly, God. And apparently the Echo has said VAR have released the audio for the McAllister penalty into the 2 words, bottled it. There you go.
I seen it tonight. I was watching it. Watching it tonight. It's absolute joke, you know. Yeah. You should listen to it. It tells you everything you need to know about VAR and how corrupt it is. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're all going on about. I'm 6'5". Everybody knows that. Nah, like, what are you laughing at?
When you're standing on your bed.
In your dreams.
They said when you're standing on your bed.
The smallest player at Liverpool when I was there was, do you remember him? Willie Carlyle. He was 5 foot. I think he was about 5. And Sammy Reid, he was 5'3".
But you must have been tiny for a striker, George. Yeah, like back then, you must have been tiny for a striker.
Yeah, but I gave as good as I got. Don't worry. You know, I was a hard. If anybody tried to kick me, Tommy took care of them. Tommy Smith took care of them.
It's the Sui coming out.
No, because when he said he was 5'5", 6", and he's 10 stone something, I thought, okay, he's got something behind him there. Yeah.
You don't make it to Liverpool. I've got to say, George, you don't make it to Liverpool, and you got, obviously it's more than just 5'6".
It just shows
all the Liverpool teams. You got the C team, the B team, the A team, and the reserve team. I think I had about 180 games, scored about 80 goals. But in the Central League team, the 3 years I played there, 63, 64, 65, I scored. I think it was 38 goals and 108 appearances. More appearances than anybody else and more goals than anybody else in the second team. And I still couldn't get in the team. That's how good they were.
Wow.
Wow.
That's mad.
Wow.
And you went up to Aberdeen, did you? Was it Aberdeen you went up?
I went to Aberdeen for £12,000. I got a £1,200 sign-on fee. I've never seen as much money in my life. And I bought a brand new Mini and I drove it out of the showroom. It's £534. Brand new Mini. Can you imagine how much that costs now? About 30,000?
Yeah, about 30 grand. Yeah.
We backed him a
you could buy a terraced house for that as well, you know.
Really? Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Whatever you got, you could buy a terraced house.
And I was devastated leaving Liverpool, but I went back to Aberdeen, played in the first team.
Back, aren't you?
Played in the first team and I got a big check. So what was that?
Like a magnet that drags you, like pulls you in.
I came back and stayed with my mother-in-law.
Like Al Pacino in The Godfather.
Yeah, I couldn't leave it. We came back. We kept bouncing back, Frank, even from South Africa. Came back to see
Kevin Lewis was my eye.
Yeah, I played with Kevin in Port Elizabeth as well.
Kevin,
did you ever play against Liverpool again?
Me and a lad named Benny Ambrose, from our square kids. And we were in the paddock, standing there, looking at where he ran out. The dugout where they ran out. And Kevin came running out. And he had a cigarette in his hand. He threw it away. Just ran on the pitch.
Yeah.
But I liked him. And he scored some goals as well. He has a number 7 on his back. That's what I always remember.
Yeah. He scored 2 goals, got Liverpool promoted.
Yeah, well, there you go.
He got us promoted.
There you go.
Season, yeah.
Oh, listen, lads, I'll have to finish.
I'll be getting the knock in a minute, Frank. I'll be getting the red card.
Yeah.
Any minute now.
Should be coming in. Are you getting there? You're on that with that fella again.
That Frank Carlyle.
Yeah. But listen, George, thank you so much.
Great to see everybody.
Love you, mate, honestly.
Great to see Jamie on tonight. He's cracking, isn't he?
Yeah, well, it's great to Jamie.
Brian
and Brian.
And JK. Yeah,
And
brilliant.
JK.
Take care,
all
bro.
the lads, all the girls, all the lads and everybody out there. It's been a wonderful night. It's been absolutely great. And thank you, whoever, press the like button and, subscribe. Thank you so much. And as the Foz says, how good was little gents? How good was Billy Little, he's saying.
Well, they called Liverpool Liverpool. That's how good he was.
Liverpool.
Better than Aldi, yeah.
And he was a gentleman.
He was
Wasn't
lovely.
he, George?
Yeah, justice of the peace.
And
Lovely man.
as he says there, Fozzy's World, I can't believe Little was the club accountants as well. Absolute genius.
Those were the days. Those were the days, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, he had. He wasn't just he was a brilliant man, Billy.
Well, anyway, I'm just going to finish on that. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, George. I love your honesty, guys. I do. You know that.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, JK. I'm off to get my cocoa now and Horlicks. I'll see you soon.
Enjoy, bro.
Please give my regards. Please give my regards to Jeff. Okay. Anyway, thanks, lads, and thank you, chat. And I'll see you. I'll see you. Excuse me. I'll see you all on Thursday. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
No. Ciao. See you later, JK. See you later, Brian. Thank you.
Take care, boys.
Ta-ra.